It's NASCAR Xfinity Series racing from Watkins, Glen, the Sunoco. Go Rewards 200. And high atop here on the front stretch alongside our crew chief Steve Letarte, Rick Allen with you. Steve, we come to Watkins Glen. This is a racetrack where the Xfinity Series, this will be the 28th race here. But the one thing I think about is speed when we come to this racetrack.
Yeah, this is the super speedway of road course racing. 7 corners, a lot of momentum, a lot of runoff on corner exits. You can be wide on the exit. It allows opportunity to make a little bit of mistake and still have some room to save it. It's going to be very interesting to see how these guys attack this new Goodyear tire. Tons of grip, speeds, record high.
Interesting also to see the strategies that play out. When we come to a road course, it's not simply you come every time we have a stop in action. So what are they going to do strategy-wise?
Well, the math would say pit twice and only twice, but yellows can upset a strategy. These crew chiefs are going to have to stay very, very fluid. You're going to have to understand what suits your agenda the best. Teams here need points. Other teams are just looking for experience. Some of those cup regulars that are in the field, everyone's looking for the trophy. If it was as easy as just knowing when to stop, they would all get it right. I assure you, they all won't. This will be a challenge all day.
All right, we'll keep our eye on the strategy. We're also going to take a look now at this 2.45-mile road course. From start to finish, this one will be exciting. And, of course, MRN, SiriusXM, Mike Bagley will be in 2, 3, and 4. We will be calling this radio style once again. That means that Dale Earnhardt Jr. will be in the inner loop as well as the carousel. Jeff Burton, turns 6 through 7, and let's hear from the guy who will call the action in turns 2, 3, and 4, the bagman, Mike Bagley.
Hey Rick, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to Watkins Glen International and welcome to one of the more tense portions of this road course. Turns 2, 3, and 4 can make or break a run here at Watkins Glen. And it all starts with a downhill run into turn number 2. That's where you want to get yourself positioned. That left-hander is turn 2 right there. Double wide, not ideal. Ideally, single file formation. This, though, that is the exception, not the rule. Somebody gets crossed up in front of you going into turn 2. More times than not, it's going to end in calamity. And, of course, with the Armco barrier on the inside and outside, there is no evacuation route. Once they clear the S's, it's up the backstretch into the bus stop and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, Steve talked about the speed, so they're going to be entering the braking zone for the bus stop faster than they ever have before, as we got record speeds here today in the Xfinity Series. And one of the things that's been happening over the last several years is drivers don't seem to want to agree who goes into that first. So the bus stop, sometimes they go in there side by side, and when that happens, someone's going to be offline. Maybe both cars are offline. That's going to bring a lot of dirt, debris onto the racetrack, onto the surface, making it less grippy for the drivers, going to create a lot of problems. And then you're on the defense going into the carousel. That's downhill to the left. Very uncomfortable for the drivers to be kind of thrown into the left side of the seat. And it's difficult to really get the throttle down to accelerate out of that corner well. So they'll be headed down a long straightaway, another fast braking zone where Jeff Burton is.
Yeah, Junior, it's really important. That is a lightning fast back straightaway, and it goes into turn 6. And turn 6 is an aggressive, heavy braking zone, an opportunity to take positions or try to protect. This is a great battle right here. Watch Austin Cindric. Look at all the runoff that you have in turn 6. That'll be used all day long. The battle's not over. If you get over there, you got to be willing to block, and you got to be willing to say, I'm not going to take that block. A lot of action just like that in turn 6. So important because it leads to turn 7. Turn 7, of course, leads to the front straightaway and another braking zone and passes zone into turn 1.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the calls from all three of you guys out there on the course. Want to take a look at the starting lineup as the cars are rolling off of pit road. Up front, William Byron and Ty Gibbs. William Byron's never won a road course race, not in the Xfinity Series or in the Cup Series, but boy, was he fast when he set a new track record in qualifying, driving for that Hamrick Motorsports entry.
Yeah, you see Kyle Larson should start in row 2. He'll be to the rear, as will Justin Allgaier back there in row 5. Those will be 2 drivers to watch early as they navigate traffic as we get a little bit farther back. How about Ross Chastain, another Cup regular in row 8? Gregson, he knows he's moving to the Cup Series next year. He's trying to enjoy this last season in Xfinity full time, try to run for a championship.
Sammy Smith, the young man there in row 10, will be on the inside of row 10, a little further back. We've got Stephen Parsons as well as Kyle Weatherman will start in the 13th row.
Yeah, Jeff Burton in row 14. Myatt Snyder's a little surprising in row 15. Normally just has a little bit more pace in qualifying. Brandon Brown to the back as well. And this will finish out the field. See Ryan Sieg. That points battle is heating up at that 16th spot between Ryan Sieg and the 2 car.
We'll ride along with a few different drivers, one of those being Jeff Burton. He has the Ergodyne onboard camera, which also has a perspective from his helmet. So that will be a great view to watch him work his way around this 2.45 mile road course. There's that look. You see his legs, his hands, the dash. That's a really just a great vantage point. Thanks to Ergodyne for giving us that shot. Connor Bozak will have the Toyota onboard camera. You get a glimpse of, for example, the windshield wiper. All of them are required to have that on a road course just in case we have precipitation in the area. And getting ready for the green flag. Once again, I mentioned, William Byron never has won a road course race, but blistering speeds when he set the track record earlier. Ty Gibbs, 3 road course wins already, 1 here a year ago.
Yeah, Byron choosing driver's left. We'll see if that'll work for the first right-hand corner, turn 1.
As you mentioned, and Jeff mentioned, braking zone in turn 1 so important. They accelerate, green flag is in the air, we're racing at the Glen. 2 by 2, they rocket down the front stretch into turn number 1, and they're headed right at you, Bagman.
Side by side, coming into turn 1. Who's going to get the advantage? For a moment, it was Ty Gibbs. Here comes William Byron, flying off course and diving across the nose of Ty Gibbs. Give William Byron the lead. The lane left open, and here comes A.J. Allmendinger. He'll take that Chevy to the number 2 position. And now they're side by side for 3rd. Ty Gibbs not off to the best of starts here at the Glen.
Cole Custer on the outside of Ty Gibbs down here in the braking zone. You see Ty Gibbs is going to take that spot. Cole a little conservative there, allowing that to happen early in this race. A.J. Allmendinger right on the back bumper of our leader. William Byron takes him through the carousel. So far, a pretty clean lap for everybody, Jeff.
And seems like we're having technical difficulties with Jeff right now as we see the 17 really under fire from A.J. Allmendinger. Look at him trying to outbrake him in turn 7. To the inside, he goes for the lead.
That is a completely new passing zone in recent years, Rick. No one would ever go driver's right into 7. A.J. has done it. What a first lap for A.J. Allmendinger. Ty Gibbs, though, frustrated from that start, says, now wait a minute, I want 2nd place back, but the 16, I think with that momentum on the high side, will have a chance to defend.
A.J. Allmendinger going to take it way off course. Here's Ty Gibbs. He'll take it to the inside. They're side by side. This is not recommended. Leaning on each other. Digger's going to hang on to it. Ty Gibbs doing a great job right there of checking up and not forcing that issue. But it comes at a price, and that price is Cole Custer on his back bumper.
All this has allowed William Byron to get a healthy lead. Cole Custer, again, allowing Ty Gibbs to take the line into the bus stop, losing a little bit of time right there, getting offline a little bit. Ty Gibbs with a really, really fast car right here, right on the back bumper through the carousel, giving A.J. all sorts of pressure on corner exit here. Let's see what he can do down this long straightaway. He's going to fall right in line with A.J. A.J.'s going to carry the speed down the straightaway. No opportunity here in the braking zone of turn 6. They're trying to track William Byron back down as they head into turn 7.
Ty Gibbs was looking to the inside of that 16 of A.J. Allmendinger, not able to get the nose inside that bumper, so still not able to put enough pressure to take that 2nd spot away as William Byron now has about a 5-car length advantage over 2nd. Byron out front. A.J. Allmendinger running 2nd. Ty Gibbs holding on to 3rd.
A.J. Allmendinger started out on offense. Now he's playing defense. Ty Gibbs dipping some tires off to the left of the rumble strips. Seeing if that gives him a run up through the S's. He's able to stay with Digger stride for stride. But that run through the S's not as solid for Digger as it normally is. There's Ty Gibbs sitting right on his back bumper. This again the battle for 2nd. And here goes Ty to the inside.
He's going to be able to take that position away from A.J. Putting so much pressure on the back of that 16 car. A.J. could do nothing about it. Now Ty Gibbs sets sail here into the carousel. Up the racetrack a little bit. William Byron's going to look in the mirror and see a new car behind him.
And Dale, think about what AJ told us in the pre-race show. He felt like that engine maybe had a little bit of a misstep during practice and qualifying. They elected not to change it, but so far on the radio has said nothing of that. And obviously had a great start, slot in the second position, but now trying to get back towards that 54. Ty Gibbs, no engine issues on the 16 so far.
We don't have to look that far back to see the successes of Ty Gibbs on the road course. It happened at Road America. Very impressive how he outran Kyle Larson for the win there. Want to listen in on AJ Allmendinger's radio, see what's going on.
Off to go that fast down the straightaway. He's got massive lateral bite, massive straightaway speed.
Massive lateral bite, massive straightaway speed. If I'm a race car driver, I want both of those. I think he's describing the 54 at that point. Lateral bite just means when he goes in the corner, has a lot of grip, especially down here in the bus stop in front of Dale Jr. That lateral bite, Dale, will allow you to tug the wheel, turn back to the left.
Ty Gibbs with that pass on AJ Allmendinger the lap before still ran the fastest lap of the field, and you can see the gap closing to William Byron underneath 1 second down through the carousel. Ty Gibbs with a lot of lateral grip, a lot of drive off the corner, great power under the hood, is closing in on that 17.
The other car's using up all of the racetrack as they go into turn number 6 here. Gibbs quickly through that as he has closed the gap. It's 1 second separating William Byron and Ty Gibbs for the top spot.
Yeah, and as we go a little bit further back in the field, look at this right here. This is the 7 of Justin Allgaier. Had to start at the back with the 88 of Kyle Larson. Well, they are currently in the 20th and 21st position. So, and the cars look clean. No dents, no dings, no tire marks. As the 7 pulls out of line into turn 1, he's going to try to take the pass on the 51 of Jeremy Clements. It's going to be close. Dave, what are you hearing about the 7?
A lot of cooperation right there, huh, Steve, as they make it through together. Clements keeps that spot for now. When I asked Justin Allgaier about this place, Watkins Glen, he said it's not my favorite, but it's different than a lot of the others as he's getting loose in here.
Trouble in the S's, Allgaier's around. He'll nail the Armco barrier on the outside. Everybody's got to jump on the binders to avoid him, but Allgaier got loose when he went wide into turn number 3. The car looped around and into the Armco barrier he went. Solo car crash and a short day for Justin Allgaier.
Massive damage to the front of the 7.
We're in trouble right here.
This is big regular season implications for Allgaier. He was second in the regular season standings, and now this is definitely going to hurt him.
Well, you heard him on the radio. I'm not sure what happened. As we were hearing that report from Dave, Allgaier turned into turn 2, which is normally one of the tightest corners. It's a big compression. The front doesn't really want to work, and then it transitions left into 3. And in that transition, lost the rear grip, and it was like a low slide. But as Mike Bagley pointed out at the top of the show, rarely does that work out for the driver. Let's take a look right here. Through turn 2, he kind of is okay, but there you go. He's just a little high on the outside of the 51 as he turns back to the left. And it is a long, long slide, Mike, in front of you and then across the track into the Armco.
Well, that's one of the things we talk about, Stevie, here in the S's. You got to be precise with the line that you take through the S's. If you get off line, half foot to a foot, that is what can happen. And that's the worst case scenario for Justin Allgaier. Wow. Hard to believe that no one else was collected in that.
And I was just saying, up to 20th with no dents, no tire marks. He had done such a nice job of being clean. Just purely a mistake. Just not as a mistake. I expect that Allgaier, so much experience. It just shows you how treacherous this track is. It's so fast. You are kind of on the edge of control. So picking and choosing those marks through traffic, in the end, is what ended Justin Allgaier's day.
AMR safety crew, they're attending to Justin Allgaier. He spins coming out of turn 3 and out of the race.
Cautions out early here at Watkins Glen for that 7 of Justin Allgaier, that Junior Motorsports car, a single car spin. That's an unfortunate start to the day for Justin, but Justin's had a bit of an interesting season. He got that win earlier this season at Darlington, snapping that winless streak of over a year. And since then, he's found victory lane 2 more times for a total of 3 wins this season, locking himself into the playoffs once again. Now, Justin is a pretty decent road course racer, so to see him struggle early on here at Watkins Glen is a bit surprising. But as far as the Junior Motorsports camp, still highly represented out there on the racetrack with Josh Berry, Noah Gregson, and Sam Mayer in competition.
Download the official app of NASCAR and follow the action with free live scoring. There's in-car cameras as well as radio broadcast. Search NASCAR in your app store to download and start a free trial. Caution has come out early in this one for the Xfinity Series, and it was Justin Allgaier that went around in turn 3 into the wall, the fence here.
Yeah, I think he just kind of got a little higher than he wanted in turn 3, the middle S. As we take another look at it, right up through here, he's going to turn back. I mean, he's 130 miles an hour. You see, he gets the part throttle, and he runs part throttle for a while because he knows as soon as he touches the brakes, he's going to commit to a spin out, hoping there's enough space, and there just isn't. He goes around to the left side and hits the front wall. Now all this speedy dry will have to be put down and cleaned up, and it's just, I mean, that's how fast it happens. In my opinion, he got into 2 kind of like he wanted. Then he thought about going around the 51, got a little high, and just lost that right rear. Marty was telling us on the break that the track condition much warmer than this morning, the last time they were on the racetrack. A lot of guys complaining about freeze, so maybe that was some of the issue. And this is what we're talking about, right? You have regular season standings because those playoff points are awarded to this standings. And, you know, the regular season champ's a big advantage. A.J. Allmendinger leading that, Gibbs in second, Allgaier in third, and off the racetrack, not a good day.
As they run, that's where they stand in regular season standings. We'll be back for the restart here from Watkins Glen next.
Getting ready to see our first restart here of the day. And when it comes to restarts, there's one driver in the field that already has a few of those under his belt here this weekend. That's the 19 of Brandon Jones. Brandon ran last night in the ARCA race, got the win, might I add, in a late race restart. I talked to Brandon in Victory Lane about what he was hoping to learn from that ARCA race in regards to today's, and he said restarts was big. He wanted to see how the track was going to work. He wanted to see where he needed to be position-wise, and clearly it worked out in his favor last night. Brandon's currently running 11th as we prepare to take green here.
Welcome back to Watkins. Glen with a quick couple updates here on your leaders. Looking at AJ Allmendinger there in the 16 car. You saw him get to second place early on and then fall to third behind that orange car there of Ty Gibbs. The reason being lateral grip, just way too loose in that 16 car and getting too loose too early. AJ told me this was one of his fears here. He said if we can keep the rears in check, we'll be good all day, but if it starts to get too loose too early, that's going to be an issue, Marty.
Ty Gibbs on the inside there of row 1, the yellow 54. Got to get used to that this weekend. Car's a little bit too free, but man, that 54 is so fast. He also knows Justin Allgaier is now out of the race and knows his rival for the regular season championship, AJ Allmendinger, is right behind him. The interesting thing for William Byron, Steve, I would love to know if you're Kevin Mandring, how hard do you race these guys, right? You know they're battling for a championship in the Xfinity Series. You're just here for some laps and for some experience for tomorrow. So how hard do you race the 54 and the 16 if you're William Byron?
Hard. You make them very uncomfortable. Listen, I mean, William Byron is a champion in this series. He's not going to be inappropriate, but don't give them extra space. I would drive right off in there with them. I mean, you are here to race. You're here to win. You have sponsors. You have a team. I do know it's about, you know, the opportunity to get some laps, but I think Ty Gibbs and AJ Allmendinger understand. You know, you can't go in and hit him in the rear bumper, but if you make door contact at turn 1, that's just Watkins Glen.
He wants to win the race.
Yeah.
He's in this to win it. That's his goal. So he's not worried about the 54, the 07, the 16, anybody behind him. He wants to take this right to the front. And so once again, getting ready for the green flag to come back out here at Watkins Glen. The caution coming out for Justin Allgaier. And 2 by 2 across the stripe, back to action. And a drag race between the top 2. William Byron on the outside. Now a good run out of the 54 of Ty Gibbs. He has the nose in front, and Gibbs is going to take the lead away.
Yeah, but here comes William Byron to the outside. Off course, almost making a little contact there. Ty with the preferred line will take the lead, or will he? Here comes Byron. Back to the inside. Side by side for the lead. Side by side for third. AJ Allmendinger, Cole Custer there, getting a little physical heading into the bus stop.
Byron side drafts a little bit, has the edge on Ty, going in the corner, side by side almost. Both cars having to slow down, check up quite a bit in the middle as you see everybody close in on that lead duo. Down into the carousel. AJ Allmendinger, oh, we got a crash here back in the bus stop. The 31 of Maya Snyder, Jeb Burton involved. You're right on board Jeb Burton's car there with the helmet cam, trying to get it fired up. He's moving.
Stay green.
Yeah, they were running around the 24th position.
Brake pedal went to the floor. Brake pedal went to the floor.
Oh, man, brake pedal went to the floor in the Jeb Burton machine. That is not good. I can't say enough how impressive that run up the S's were between William Byron and the 54 of Ty Gibbs. I've watched Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon try it, and they didn't make it. That is very hard to do. These two youngsters right here, they made it look very easy. As now Ty Gibbs to the inside, but the 17 will have momentum.
Ty's trying to get down to the inside as Byron again slings that Chevy off course. You got Gibbs into Toyota. Those two are starting to check out now by about 2, maybe 3 car lengths as they race their way through the S's and up to the back straightaway with AJ Allmendinger trying to make that a 3-man fight.
See the replay of the accident through the bus stop the last lap before, as Gibbs still tries to put the pressure on William Byron. Byron's been quick all day in this car and in the Cup car. A little mistake right there by Ty Gibbs. Puts a little more dirt on that racetrack. Kind of regroups, closes back in through the carousel. Headed down to turn 6.
So right here, the 54 runs a very tidy carousel, and you see what it does. It keeps him right to the rear bumper of the 17. I think the 54 is better. Now it's just about where do you make your move? How patient can you dare be, Rick?
Every move efficient. Right now, out of Ty Gibbs in the 54, he is running right in the tire tracks of William Byron. Byron still out front. Byron has led 8 of the 9 laps run, now 10 laps run. So 9 of those have been William Byron up front, and Ty Gibbs in front for a lap as Gibbs goes way off track trying to keep the momentum up.
Yeah, he's trying to keep the speed up in that Toyota. That's not going to work for him at that part of the racetrack, although as he climbs the hill, he's able to stay with William Byron. Although Byron's going to open it up now, about 1 car length, maybe 2 car lengths, and the 2 of them have opened up about a dozen car lengths over AJ Allmendinger in third.
That wide exit out of turn 1, I think the drivers use that as well just to set up a better entry into turn 2. And you can see that help the car make gains all the way through the S's. 21 with the tire down into the pits. as we watch the battle for the lead up front. Gibbs a little bit wide here, looking to the outside of the 17 car. He's alongside. I think that Byron's going to have to give up the position here in the braking zone, and he does.
Ty Gibbs, an impressive exit out of the carousel, has a position, but here comes William Byron fighting back on the inside. He doesn't want to give up the lead. Coming back to the front stretch, it's Ty Gibbs who surges ahead, and Gibbs will lead another lap here at the Glen. What an impressive run by Ty Gibbs there. Dave.
And surging ahead through the field was Justin Allgaier from the back of the pack. Justin, what happened in the S's?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, the 51 kind of missed the turn into turn 2, and I thought maybe we had enough of a run there, went to his right, and unfortunately, I guess there's probably some debris out there. I'm not really sure. Just hate it for our team. You know, everybody on this Grand Professional, Coach Camaro does such a great job. Been a while since we've had to make one of these trips, and it just really stinks, especially as good of a car as we had today. You know, we were marching our way through the field there, already inside the top 20 in 4 laps, so felt like we had a car capable of not only getting up to the front, but contending for a win. So I hate it for our team, hate it for everybody involved, and just going to make us hungrier and stronger for the next one, and hopefully we can come out of here and not lose too many points and go to the next one.
Justin walked from the care center under his own power. Glad he's okay.
A frustrated Justin Allgaier already out of this race. But the top 5 right now in this race are very tight. This is getting to be a really close top 5. Gibbs up front, Byron, Allmendinger, Custer, and Mayer the top 5. Parker.
Right, you see the 21 there of Austin Hill. We saw him on pit road. They thought they maybe had a tire going down from contact. That was not the case. Then they thought maybe a track bar was broken, but it sounds to me like maybe they have a broken axle. He was struggling with wheel hop really badly in the first couple laps of the race, and now just trying to limp around and probably make it back here to the garage. Something really amiss in that 21.
Yeah, so a broken axle means that only one of the rear drivers is actually taking power when you step on the gas. One of the rear tires is driving. That just won't work on both acceleration and decel. They're just going to have to try to repair that. We'll see if they can. You mentioned the front 5. You know, the 5th car in that line, the one of Sam Mayer, the youngsters really showing up at some of these road courses. This is the next group, right? The 98 of Herbst, the 2 of Creed, the 9 of Noah Gregsondale.
One of the things you may hear while you're watching this race that we don't typically hear is the tires. They have a little bit of a squeal to them as these drivers are really pushing these to the edge. Watch this battle here out of the bus stop. A lot of guys trying to take advantage of each other here. See Sammy Smith right there in the middle of all that going on. Riding on Mozak's camera. He gets into the back of the 11 car there. But it's, you know, there's so much grip in this new tire, softer tire. The cars are flying through the corners, and you can hear the tires literally squealing through every corner. Oh, squealing because he about wrecked right there in the 26. My goodness. That was awesome. You want to know how close you can get to wrecking without wrecking? You were just on board with the 26.
I felt
Mozak. My goodness, that was unbelievable.
I felt like we were going to go around. Steve, you mentioned strategy coming into play where we might see people stopping around lap 17. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back for those pit stops if they happen. Wild rides here at Watkins Glen.
Now with that 27 of Jeb Burton, that Our Motorsports Chevrolet, they brought it back behind the wall. Now Jeb was complaining a couple laps ago about issues with his brakes, potential brake failure. They brought it down pit road, took a look at the brakes. Everything looked okay, but then we're having issues getting that engine refired. So I heard the crew chief say potentially it's a mechanical issue. It was then that the team decided to bring it back behind the wall. Now, as you can see, Jeb is still in the race car, so they're hoping to get it back onto the racetrack, but I'll keep you updated as things develop down here.
NASCAR fans, don't let anything pass you by. The official app of NASCAR Tracks lets you stay up to date on the latest race and event information from all your favorite tracks. Search NASCAR Tracks in the App Store to download for free and start using today. Problem here for Patrick Gallagher. If you miss the course, you've got to come to a complete stop, but it looks like they've got an issue there.
Yeah, I think there was some smoke climbing the S's. I don't know if it was an engine issue. This will be interesting if the 38 can't continue from here. This will bring out a yellow. That's in a very precarious situation if someone doesn't. Oh, there you go. There's your yellow right there.
Okay, Steve, how does strategy come into play here now? Because two cautions already in the first stage.
Well, Rick, I'm looking at the lap count. 5 to go. The pace car will pick them up at 4 to go. I think this is going to be a tough decision for everybody because, you know, I think it was going to be easy to not come before the stage end for some of these guys, but now with the yellow on the racetrack, you know, if I'm the 88 of Kyle Larson or the 17 of William Byron, 67 laps to go. If I think I can go 31 or 32 laps, I know I'm a little short, but with some expected cautions, I think I'm coming right here to pit. 4 tires and fuel. Even if I'm way off of my fuel numbers, I can come back in as we see Jeb Burton out of the 27. Disappointment as he pulls his gloves off. Said he didn't have any brakes in that accident, and Gallagher climbs out of his car. So I think you pit right here, take tires and fuel kind of regardless. You have to leave your options open for the rest of the race.
Steve, so I bet you're glad you're in the TV booth, right? Not on a pit box right now. Imagine being Chris Gale. Would you walk away from a playoff point here that you would get by winning this stage, potentially, and also what you would give up by stage points? Remember, there's a regular season championship at stake as well, and currently they're behind A.J. Allmendinger. So I don't know. That's a really tough decision to walk away from that playoff point right now, Steve. That's what Chris Gale's deciding right now, whether to bring Ty Gibbs in under this caution or not.
If I'm the 54, I stay on the racetrack, and I take the points in the playoff point. Try to fill my bucket a little bit, 10 regular points, 1 playoff point. That would be the decision I would make, knowing everyone behind me is probably going to pit. But, you know, it's early enough in the race. You have a fast enough car. I'd put it on my young driver to try to make up the time. So we'll have to just see. Pit road was closed that time by. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if we're going to see a restart or not. 4 to go. We're going to see the pace car. Pit roads will be open at 3 to go. Yeah, I guess I could give them maybe for a 1 or a 2 lap shootout. If I'm the 54, I stay on the racetrack. Byron, Allmendinger, Custer, Mayer. Now, Allmendinger may stay on the racetrack if Byron pits thinking he can outrun the 54, but I wouldn't. I'd be coming to get some tires and fuel.
Yeah, the caution's coming out. We see Patrick Gallagher here coming through turns 2 and 3.
Kind of turns left. Oh, there you go. There's the smoke you talked about, Rick. That looks not good. You don't want to let the smoke out. Oh, boy. Yeah, whatever it was, it went from bad to worse.
Ignited, he stopped just outside of the bus stop there, interlude.
Hey, it's good for him instead of driving around and putting fluid on the track. You know, because what will happen here at Watkins Glen is they won't tow him around. They will basically take him right off the surface and through the infield back to the garage. So, you know, there's small things you can do to kind of respect the event, respect NASCAR and the other competitors. That was a great example of it.
Marty?
Do you give up the playoff point or not? Listen on the radio, Rick.
Yeah, if they open pit road up, we're going to have to pit.
Good. For strategy?
Isn't it always strategy?
There you go, Steve. So Ty Gibbs, Chris Gale making the call. So if you're A.J. Allmendinger's team, you've heard that on the radio. Would you not counter that move and stay out here at this caution?
Depends on if you think you have a winning car. I think the 54 in the short bit of green flag running we've seen has the winning car at the moment. That doesn't mean everybody else won't get better. So if I was the, I don't know, if I was the 16 and I thought I could be the leader, I would stay out, much like I just said the 54 would stay out, Parker.
Well, Steve, that's exactly what they were saying on the radio. So basically, they were saying on the radio they're committing to staying out here and going for that playoff point and winning this stage, but no matter what the 54 does. So we'll keep an eye and see what the 16 eventually does here as they get to pit road.
Well, and then to add to all this, if I'm the 2 of Sheldon Creed in the 7th position, I am absolutely staying out. Remember, he's 13th. He is the first car out in points. The 39 of Ryan Sieg is in front of him. Ryan Sieg is not having a great day. He's back in 24th. If I'm Sheldon Creed, all this is great. I got to make the playoffs before I worry about playoff points. So Sheldon Creed, I would absolutely stay on the racetrack and try to score those those points. Well, that's all a good conversation. Now let's see what they do.
Yeah, top 10 gets points at the end of each stage. And then, of course, the winner of the stage gets a playoff point, which they carry into the playoffs, which is very important when ranking comes into play. And we see the top 2 right now. And A.J. Allmendinger stays on the racetrack.
Yeah, exactly what we've talked about. He saw the 54 pit, so he's going to stay out. Dave.
Cole Custer in the 07. He is ineligible for this championship, running for experience and perhaps a race win tomorrow. So he'll pit here, get 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. Really been fighting both the front and the back of the race car, Marty. A lot of adjusting possibly here.
So even though he lost the lead, William Byron not completely unhappy with his race car. Top of your screen right there said once the grip kind of came back a little bit, I was much better on the longer run there. So interesting move here from Chris Gale. To your point, Steve, they feel like they have a car that can win this race. So they want to keep up with the winning strategy today and not go for those stage points. Maybe they could pass a few folks here, but Ty Gibbs saying his car a little bit too free, especially through the carousel, but he was making up time pretty much on everybody through there, even though he was free.
A nice move by the pit crew for the 54 to hold that position, at least first off pit road. I mentioned Sheldon Creed. Well, he came to pit road. Great call by the 39 car. He flips it, goes the other way, trying to protect those points, try to find a way into the playoffs.
A shootout to the stage 1 finish, as we'll have 2 laps to go when the field takes green. I mentioned a little bit ago that 27 of Jeb Burton having some issues and we're behind the wall. Unfortunately for the team, they are done for the day. Due to the damaged vehicle policy, as Jeb was involved in that minor incident on the track, they only had 5 minutes to work on the race car, and that clock came to a close. So Jeb was back at the garage, the car is back in the garage, and unfortunately that 27 team has ended their day early here in stage 1.
Getting ready for the restart once again from Watkins Glen, and it will just be 2 laps to go in this first stage. Once again, calling this one radio style, which means we've got guys all the way around the track. Mike Bagley from Sirius XM MRN will be in turns 2, 3, and 4. The S's, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the carousel, and Jeff Burton, welcome back. He's in turn 6.
I'm back. They turned my microphone off. They said I was talking too much. They just shut me down.
Well, there's a shocker. It's been a lot of fun already, a lot of energy here, and we're looking forward to the restart here at the end of stage 1.
Jeff, we'd have given you a break. I mean, you didn't have to just tap out right at the beginning of the race, but that's all right. I'm glad he's back. He's on that. He actually gets the award. The other 2 have somewhat sure footing. Poor Jeff's on that scissor lift at 6. This is going to be interesting right here. So A.J. Allmendinger stays out to win the stage. That's the strategy. But now you have to win the stage, right? Now you have to go run these 2 laps to try to beat everyone else to the line.
A.J. Allmendinger back into the gas quickly. He's got a lot of help from the 18. Now the 18's going to move him out of the way and go right on by as they go to turn number 1.
Man.
Sammy Smith goes wide. Can A.J. Allmendinger hang on to the lead?
Points paying window is open, and Sammy Smith is going to try to disrupt the proceedings. Sammy going wide off course, going into 2. He will take the lead from A.J. Allmendinger as they climb the hill. Digger, those going to stay with him, but you've got Kaz Gralla right there. You've got Jeremy Clements, Kyle Weatherman in the mix, trying to settle stage 1 here at the Glen.
People are asking you all the time, what kind of talent does Sammy Smith have? Right there, when you can do those type of things, when the moment's not too big, when you line up beside A.J. Allmendinger on a restart at the end of a stage and you power by him, that says a lot about this young man and that he believes in himself. Exiting turn 6, a clean lead over A.J.
Yeah, A.J. now knows he's going to have to deal with him. A.J. drove into turn 1 like he didn't have his competition around him anymore. Got in there really easy. Sammy Smith said, hey, you treat me like that, I'm going to take the lead. Great statement by Sammy Smith.
Ty Gibbs is cheering on his Gibbs teammate in Sammy Smith. Take my guy here, AJ Allmendinger, who I'm racing for the regular season championship, who I know I'm going to race in the playoffs and steal this playoff point away. That's great counter from a teammate.
Meanwhile, further back, they're looking 3 wide. That's for a spot just outside of the top 10, or inside the top 10, that is. While the leaders now make their way through turns 2, 3, and 4. Watching Ty Gibbs and others scattered out throughout the field, trying to make some noise. You got Andy Lally, you got Myatt Snyder, you got Ty Gibbs, and you've also got William Byron starting to make some noise mid-pack.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs is trying to get every spot he can as he closes in on the finish of the stage. For every spot is a point. We got a caution back here, a spin back here in the back. Riley Herbst is off track. It's like everybody's going to have to come to a stop. You pan to the right, you see about 5 cars that had to miss the bus stop, and they all sit in the middle of the bus stop and paid their penalty. Haven't seen that ever before as we watch this stage come to an end.
Caution did not come out because they're going to get the caution at the start-finish line, so NASCAR held it.
Sammy Smith comes out in turn 7, and he shocks AJ Allmendinger. He's going to win stage 1. Finished 5th in the ARCA race yesterday, and Sammy Smith, after that great restart, the front stretch was able to take the lead away from AJ Allmendinger, and he wins stage 1. Other guys collecting points: Josh Balicki, William Byron. He runs full-time in the Cup Series. Sheldon Creed.
Boy. Big hit for the 37. We see the rear deck lid off on the 31 car. There's the 98.
Yeah, if we can watch the replay of the 98 car when he spins through the bus stop,
Yeah,
there were about 6 or 7 cars that had to go straight through the bus stop here, and all of them knew the penalty that needed to be served. So every one of them's parked in the middle of this bus stop as you see this spin develop with Riley. And watch all these guys go to the outside. Everybody pulls over here. Everybody knows to come to a stop. That was funny looking. And Riley did a good job not sliding back across out in front of everybody. Here's the 31 car getting into the wall.
Oh, man, that's basically the last corner.
Yeah, that was 7,
the right-hander.
And so Myatt Snyder, with a lot of damage, makes his way back to pit road, but a disappointing end to stage 1 for Myatt Snyder. But Sammy Smith claims the win in a very chaotic stage 1. NASCAR on USA is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Propane, the environmentally friendly energy for everyone. And by Ford. Built Ford proud. Stage 1 is complete. It was Sammy Smith that ended up winning stage 1. A big race coming up right after our race. It's the IndyCar Series racing from Worldwide Technology Raceway. Will Power, big smile on his face, tying Mario Andretti for the most poles ever in IndyCar history, as well as a great battle in the points. With just 3 races remaining, they're going to move that race at the start time of that race up to 6 o'clock. So make sure to tune in right here on USA. 6 points separating Power and Dixon right now. Dixon looking for his 7th championship in the IndyCar Series.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Ericsson is right there in third, won the Indy 500. So, man, a couple Ganassi cars chasing a Penske car. Feels like NASCAR circa like, 2017 or something. It's great. Funny.
Take another look.
Yeah, so you kind of see in the middle of your screen right here, you're going to see some contact right there between the 98 and then to Dale's point, everybody bails left. I mean, look at them all just parked over there. That is pretty crazy to see.
Just in front of it was this, as we see the 54 of Ty Gibbs. He lost a couple spots. We were trying to figure out why. This is it.
Yeah, the 08 catches right there in the right rear quarter panel as he connects it, moves him off to the right and through the grass. He loses 4 or 5 spots. Look right here. This is going to be.
In front, watch them. They're all going right.
This is what Dale was talking about on the radio. So we're all going to go through the fast food drive-through, but we have to stop to do it. What I was talking about with the 54, what matters is not just the 5 spots, but the 5 spots that win by included Noah Gragson, Kyle Larson, William Byron. So some of the cars that he feels he's racing for the win kind of leapfrogged him there when he got sent off course a little bit.
The other thing too, Steve, is that he lost the opportunity to get any stage points. And I know that, we were talking about that regular season battle and AJ finishing second here. Those may come into play later.
That's a great point, Dale, right? More than just positions, but penalty in the points that you see right here. The 18, a little surprising to me that he's going to stay on the racetrack. AJ Allmendinger pitting, not a surprise at all. It's going to make his first stop here under yellow.
Right, Steve, and AJ's just been struggling with that car being too loose. Also, continue to complain about the speed down the straightaway for those Joe Gibbs racing cars, as you noted with Ty Gibbs and with Sammy Smith at 18, just trying to tighten up the 16, Dave.
Bottom of the screen, Kaz Grala gives up 3rd place here for 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel. His balance was the right-hand turns were just a little bit too loose. Needs a small adjustment, not much. The wrench already in and out of the window there. And on top of your screen, Jeremy Clements, good run for him in the 51 car in the throwback Dale Earnhardt scheme at this point. Tight in both the rights and left-handers, worse on the rights. What's this track, Rick? Mostly right-hand turns.
Well, when you're tight in both right and left-hand turns, things aren't going well for you.
They're not, and why does strategy matter so much? AJ Allmendinger, he's going to start outside the top 20.
Stage 1 is complete, and it's AJ Allmendinger winning that race off pit road. Our buddy Kaz Grala right behind him in second. Kaz getting a top 5 finish in the stage. Kaz not a full-time driver in the series, but I chatted with him before the race. After practice and qualifying, he said, Jesse, honestly, I'm confident. We have a fast race car. He said this is probably the fastest 45 he's driven all season long. And if you know anything about Kaz, he's very experienced on road courses. He has a lot of sports car road racing experience, and that's actually where he got most of his racing background. Although if you ask Kaz, he doesn't want to be pigeonholed as a road course racer. He thinks he can be successful on all kinds of different racetracks. But of course here today at Watkins Glen, he's hoping that that road course experience works in his favor. Get excited, race fans. We're getting ready to start stage 2.
getting ready to start the second stage here at Watkins Glen. You're watching the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Sunoco Go Rewards 200 at the Glen.
So, Rick, we talk about strategies and everything. For the 18 of Sammy Smith, I really don't think this is a strategy for today's race. I don't think he can connect a strategy from here. I really think this is a strategy for building this young driver, this 18-year-old's experience level in the Xfinity. This is a guy I think we expect to see at Gibbs for a long time. So, hey, let's start up front a little bit and learn as much as we can. I mean, he obviously did an amazing job against A.J. Allmendinger. Let's give him a shot now here against the 17 of William Byron.
Quite a bit older tires here for Sammy Smith in the 18. He'll be on the outside of William Byron, who again set a track record here at Watkins Glen earlier today in qualifying. Stage 2 is underway. 2 by 2, they work their way down the front stretch. Again, Smith, Byron, Larson, Creed, Gibbs, Gregson, all up front here, and Sammy Smith with a pretty good restart. He's on the outside of the 17 trying to hang on to that top spot.
He had gotten away, but Byron tracked him down, and here comes the other HendrickCars.com entry. Kyle Larson getting into the mix as well. Here's Larson. He's that blue and white car down low. He'll slide across the nose of Byron and take second. Byron to third, and here comes Sheldon Creed in that red and white car in fourth.
Boy, that was a close one there with Byron and Larson. Don't think that either one of those guys realized just how tricky that was. As they both close up on Sammy right here. Sammy but Larson into the back of the 18 car right there. Sammy had a little trouble in the bus stop. Now Larson trying to get the outside. He's going to draw to the inside, but he will be on the outside of turn 6 heading to Jeff.
Now it's just a matter of who can outbrake who. 88 of Larson on the outside. Heavy braking into turn 6. William Byron also on the outside of Sammy Smith. Sammy runs him out wide. Now they go side by side in the 7. Gets really tight. Sheldon Creed in the 2 car trying to take advantage.
Fight now is for third as Sammy Smith starts to drop back like an anchor, as Sheldon Creed in the 2 making his way to the inside, and he's going to try to take that spot as we look at the replay.
Look at this, 54 goes off track, tries to join the 2 of Sheldon Creed, bang, in the right front fender. He's like, man, you want to use all that track, that's fine, but you're just not going to move me over, so he doesn't really leave a lot of room for the 54, and I don't blame him if those guys are going to go that far. 2 drivers left. And how about the 88 of Larson? From the rear of the field to the lead. Why should we be surprised? The Cup champ showing his talent here, Dale.
Yeah, a little bit of a competition between Junior Motorsports and Hendrick Motorsports. There's a lot of collaboration between both of these teams, both of these cars. But this is going to be a little friendly competition between them and the 2 drivers. Their teammates on the Cup races on Sunday, doing this for a little experience and having a little fun. Probably some big grins on both those drivers' faces.
Oh yeah, it's fun for us to watch it. As they drive down into turn 6, the battle behind them. Ty Gibbs underneath Sheldon Creed. He's taking that spot. Sheldon Creed right to the rear bumper. Good battle between those 2 guys.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs has the advantage now for that 3rd spot, as Gibbs looks to be one of the faster cars on the racetrack. Now, Marty, as the battle for the lead continues, look at William Byron in the 17 surge ahead.
He gets up there. So, hey, if it was Steve, and you're correct, Sammy Smith getting experience, how about racing against William Byron, a champion in this series, and Kyle Larson, a Cup Series champion, to get a little bit of that experience. Meanwhile, for Ty Gibbs in that yellow 54 right there, Junior, he had debris on the grill. Remember we saw him go off track a moment ago, right? He had debris on the grill. To get that debris off, all he did was shut off the fans in the car. Shut off all the fans, the debris fell off. Ty continued on. Here he is in 3rd, looking for the lead.
He's starting to put a little pressure on Larson right here. Larson giving up the lead to his teammate. Doesn't have the pace, recognizes that, does the veteran move, allowing William Byron to get a comfortable lead here. Now he holds off Ty Gibbs for 2nd place. Ty Gibbs with a little bit more speed in his car, a little bit more pace.
Yeah, Ty did a great job on that last restart. He was getting pushed around, shoved around, moved out of the way, but did not fall into the trap, did not fall into getting angry and doing something that would take his race away, and now he's battling for 3rd.
How far does Sammy Smith fall down the rankings, though? He's currently 5th before he comes to pit road, Steve. Will he go all the way to 30, 31 laps?
Well, there was a few pace laps, so probably lap 28 or 29. We'll see the young driver come to pit road. But to Marty's point, getting experience is now Cole Custer kind of tries to take the position. Noah Gregson there as well.
He's got to somehow stop this, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Speaking of Sammy Smith, getting past one after another, getting the shuffle backward. He's able to get in line here, coming across turn 3, but he's got Daniel Hamrick lined up behind him. He's also got Brandon Jones, and now Ross Chastain will enter the mix as well.
He's purely on defense mode, trying to beat these guys into the braking zone. Going to be able to do it. Doing a pretty good job trying to hold these guys back. Does not lack for confidence in his ability. Got a lot of guys, though, stacking up behind him there. You see them all on camera trying to put pressure on this driver. He's holding up pretty strong here, though.
He's doing a good job. We see trouble right here. I believe that's Alex LeBay.
Yeah, and that left side looks very much like an Armco barrier. The very reminiscent lines, horizontal lines from the Armco. Big damage on the left front. The 18, I would think, should pit right here if he was gonna pit. Try to beat the caution to pit road.
He is on pit road.
Did he get to the commitment line? He did not in time, and so he came all the way back out onto the racetrack. He was trying to get to that commitment line, but wasn't able to get there before the caution came out.
Yeah, that's too bad for the 18, but even worse for Alex LeBay. The left side of that car, heavy, heavy damage. And like I said, you can see the very distinct marks of the Armco. That has to be the top of the S's, that last right-hander. That's usually what happens.
He was running 15th at the time. As he climbs out of the car, you see the AMR safety crew getting to him quickly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Seems to be wind knocked out of him or just gingerly getting out. Yes, you can tell.
The AMR safety team has a doctor that goes out immediately with them. We'll check out the drivers right away, and that's what they're doing right now with Alex LeBay.
Yeah, the 18 wisely staying out. He saw the light turn red. His other option, if he was committed and thought the light was red, he could have just rolled pit road at pit road speed. That also would have saved a penalty.
I was watching him, Steve, and he got told pit, and didn't carry a ton of speed into turn 7. I think he got caught off guard just a little bit, and then just didn't get on pit road. But a good decision, you know, not to come down pit road. Of course, he could have been okay doing that, but as long as he didn't stop in his pit box.
Even before the Alex LeBay incident, Jason Ratcliffe had called Sammy Smith to pit road, so they're on the back end of the fuel window. So Steve, long course, right? Now you're a little bit worried about fuel. They told him to save hard. They certainly don't want to pit while pit road's closed here. They're going to try and go by one more time, but I don't think they can make it another lap here on the 18.
Yeah, now the good news is with so few cars a lap down, whether they have the penalty of tail end or pit this time, they're going to restart at about the same point of time. The front of the field is, I feel like I'm seeing a mirror image, right? It's two exactly the same paint schemes with a couple different numbers on them, and then right behind him, Ty Gibbs in that 54. So there's the very heavily damaged 36 being towed away.
We're being told that pit road will be open, so the 18, Sammy Smith will be able to make his way to pit road now without penalty. The pit road sign will be green, so he'll come to pit road. We don't think many others would make their way onto pit road now, but it will be an interesting restart when you have HendrickCars.com mirror images starting side by side.
Under caution here for the 36 of Alex LeBay. LeBay, the Canadian driver, a 2017 Pinty Series champion. He was making his 4th start of his career here at Watkins Glen. Does have one top 10 finish on the season, but unfortunately here today, their day is ending a bit early. Pit road is open. You're seeing that 18 come down. Unfortunate timing for the 18 of Sammy Smith, who are on a very different pit strategy than the rest of the field. Sammy, not a full-time driver in the series, taking a risk here, seeing how it works out as stage 2 is about halfway through.
The new NASCAR docu-series Race for the Championship on USA will give you an all-access pass to the world of NASCAR like you've never seen it before. And that premieres September 1st. Make sure to tune in. All the adrenaline, the drama, the danger. Here's the reason for the caution, and here's Alex LeBay.
This is the top of the S, is the right-hander. Car just going straight, which makes me believe he must have had a failure or a left front tire flat or whatever it was. That is a hard driver's side impact. Remember, at the ovals turning left, normally you hit with the right side when that happens. You can see just had to catch his breath, got out very gingerly. So great work in the tape room, finding that replay at the top of the S.
Well, we mentioned it. It's not really deja vu because you're seeing it at the same time, but they are side by side and look identical. William Byron, Kyle Larson. William Byron in the 17, Kyle Larson in the 88, and green flag back in the air. And look at Ty Gibbs to the inside. He wanted to make it 3 wide. It's going to be 3 wide for third. Side by side for the lead. A little contact there as the 17 of William Byron moves high in turn 1 and headed to 2.
Lots of bumming and grinding on this restart as they begin to climb to the clouds. And your new leader is William Byron. Kyle Larson there in second. Ty Gibbs in third. Sheldon Creed in fourth. They will single out to the back straightaway among the front 10, 12 cars or so.
Custer peeks out there on Creed for 4th place. Thinks better of it down into the bus stop. A little bit of a good battle there at the backside of the top 10 with Brandon Jones and a few other cars. As both the Hendrick.com cars control the front of the field here. Let's see if this 54 Ty Gibbs can bring the pressure.
Well, you know, if he can, he will. He's an aggressive race car driver. Just came off that carousel. That seems like to be his strong point. Turn 6, heavy braking zone, 90-degree left-hander. Accelerate hard off the corner. And set up a turn 7 and try to get close enough to make a pass into 1. He's right there.
Still putting the pressure on the 54 of Ty Gibbs, trying to get that second spot away from the 88 of Kyle Larson. We saw it at Road America. He was able to do it, but not right now in turn 1.
Now we're watching the battle for the number 5 position. Make that the number 4 spot. That's where Sheldon Creed is trying to hang on to it. Cole Custer there in the 07, and Noah Gregson has crept up into the mix as well. Single file through 2, then they'll glide across turn 3. Creed, Custer, and Gregson now will single out to the back straightaway in what's a battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
It's a great run for Creed. Also a good run for Gregson back there. Both those guys not showing a ton of pace in practice, but looking good here in the race. Cole Custer trying to put a little pressure on that 2 car headed down into the carousel here. They got a lot of company behind them, the 19, the 16. AJ Allmendinger as well. Sam Mayer back there. All those guys closing in on this battle.
And Sheldon Creed has come to life in the second half of this Xfinity Series year. He really struggled early, but now starting to figure it out. Cole Custer underneath him into 6th. Gonna roll right in behind him, not trying to lose any more momentum. Got a caution on the speedway.
Talking on the racetrack, the 68 has stopped. Chris Wright, the 28-year-old from Pennsylvania, has stopped his race car.
No, the engine's running.
And for engine running, no drive line.
Sir.
Engine running, no drive line. That tells me that either a drive shaft has broken, come loose, axle of some sort. Something won't allow this thing to go into gear. If it's in gear, it won't accelerate. The 2 of Sheldon Creed currently in the 5th position, Parker. I questioned their pit call, but he had a good run to the end of that stage 1.
Right, and that was because we thought maybe he should have stayed out in stage 1 and got some more points there, but I spoke to his crew chief, Jeff Stankiewicz, and said, what was the decision there? And he said, well, with the tire fall off, I feel like pitting before stage 1 could put us in a better position for stage 2. Well, they also got points at the end of stage 1. They got a couple points when he got a great restart and now finds himself in the top 5. And before all that, he was back in 7th or 8th place. So it's been a net gain. He's been able to hold on. He's been happy with the car, saying it makes grip almost everywhere, just a little tight in the S's right now. But I think this is maybe playing out in their favor to get points in both stages and set them up in a good position for the end of this race.
Well, that's the update of Sheldon Creed. Well, good news, bad news for AJ Allmendinger. Stayed out in that late caution in stage 1, trying to win the stage. Was beat by the 18, which hurt a little bit. Sammy Smith beat him for that playoff point. But the 16 pitted, went all the way basically to the back of the field. He has worked his way all the way back up inside the top 10. Currently 8th. So all of these yellows has helped the 16 stay in touch with the leaders. He gains a few spots, the yellow comes out. doesn't let them get too far away. So that strategy call from the 16, it didn't work out like they wanted, but the penalty wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. He's doing a nice job recovering.
When we get ready for the restart, it will be a sprint to the end of stage 2, as we have completed 11 of the 20 laps here in the stage.
Yeah, that's what the whole race has felt like. So basically, let's, you know, it's just been very short runs, Parker, not a lot of rhythm to this race.
Right, and for AJ's teammate Daniel Hamrick, take a listen to the radio here of what's going on in this 11 car right now. He's back in 30th.
Yeah, got no fuel pressure here. Coming and going, but more so gone. Yeah, it's not like a broke cable or nothing. It's because it's, you know, still running. Asking the most out of it on a straightaway is when I don't have it.
And that's the thing right there, right? So that's where maybe it's not being able to get the fuel as it goes through different corners here for the 11 Daniel Hamrick, and that's a real shame. He was very excited and optimistic about the speed in that race car right now, Marty.
So, Parker, I talked to Jason Ratcliffe, the crew chief for Sammy Smith, and, you know, there's a pretty good chance that Jason Ratcliffe and Sammy Smith will work together full-time in Joe Gibbs Racing next year. So I asked Jason and said, hey, what was the strategy in leaving Sammy out there? He said, are you kidding me? We won a stage. He got to race against Kyle Larson and William Byron, and then on the backside, I put him out there in traffic in 25th with fresh tires, see what he can do. So, Steve, you had it right. They were just wanting the experience for Sammy for running up front, and I think he is also right, Jason, saying, hey, that confidence he's going to get from winning a stage over A.J. Allmendinger, a road course, that's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I like that decision, right? Invest in this young man.
He's 18.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Jeff Burton reminds us every time this series is about learning and growing. Well, that is, he went from racing like 101 to racing like 303 by putting him in the front row with A.J. Allmendinger in a road course.
And that is a veteran crew chief putting him in that spot.
One lap to go before the field takes green, but that 11 of Daniel Hamrick is on pit road. Daniel, the defending series champion, did not drive that 11 car here at Watkins Glen last year. That was driven by Justin Haley. That car did finish top 10, but Daniel himself finished 12th in this race last year. No developments on exactly what's going on with that race car, but I will keep you updated if they are unable to get it back out on the track.
Well, welcome back to Watkins Glen here on the Peacock Pit Box. KP, a lot of action, a lot of different strategies going on here.
Listen, a lot of strategies, a lot of different things happening up front. The only constant up front right now has been William Byron and Ty Gibbs. Those two guys have been, no matter what the pit cycle, no matter what was going on. Interesting to hear Steve talk about guys that should pit, guys shouldn't pit. And it's all about these points. We talked about the points in pre-race. Sheldon Creed, we talked about him. Ryan Sieg, those guys racing each other. There's races within a race, and I can't keep up with all of it. All I'm doing is listening to Steve, listening to Jeff Burton mostly. I mean, he's been very informative the first part of this race.
Yeah, it's been great to watch. I'll be interested to see how much Ty Gibbs pushes the issue here, trying to win this stage, get those valuable points. Rick?
Thanks, guys.
I think he was talking about those first 10 laps for Jeff.
That's what I thought he was referring to as well. Very informative.
Look, the simple fact is you see all those drivers over there, everyone on the left side, everyone up front, they're just going to race to their last pit window. So now it's real simple. Who's got the best car? I think Ty Gibbs has it. We'll see if he can find his way past those two mirror-imaged Hendrick and Junior Motorsports entries of the 17 and 88.
7 to go in stage 2. The 17 of Byron on the outside, and big moves back behind them as everyone's shuffling around, making sure they don't run into the back of someone. 3-4 wide as they come into turn number 1. And the race is on for the lead. The 88 of Kyle Larson. He's on the inside. Can he get to the lead as they go to 2?
Side by side into the S's, and in turn 2 it's going to be William Byron, but the lane is left open. Here comes Sheldon Creed in that red and white Chevrolet. He's going to go toe-to-toe with Kyle Larson, and behind them here's Noah Gregson under attack. You got Ty Gibbs right there as the traffic continues to stack up.
Creed pushes it down here in the braking zone. He's going to beat Larson into that braking zone and take over second position. Well, we got a car way off over here. Hard to tell really who that is. Looks like might it be Sam Mayer right there in the 1 car. Has spun in the middle of the bus stop. He's going to get it turned around and going again. He had a good, pretty good run going earlier today. Going to have to try to rebound now.
One was running in the 9th position. I can't believe more guys don't get spun out. Here he comes, basically into view backwards, Rick. Not sure what caused that.
It's just the same thing we see throughout the race. The guys arguing into the braking zone of the bus stop, especially on restarts. You know, they don't want to give up these positions. A little bit of contact can send you offline and into a spin.
We mentioned how fast Ty Gibbs was, but now the focus has been shifted to the 2 of Sheldon Creed as he now runs in the 2nd spot.
Watching Gibbs and Gregson right there. They're wrestling for the 4th spot. You got Gibbs that'll slide through. He'll grab that. Gregson quickly gets in line because here comes A.J. Allmendinger and Cole Custer. 2 drivers that made an impact in this race early on. Allmendinger now has reached the back bumper, and here he goes to the inside.
A little bit too far back in the braking zone here to be able to make that charge and take the position away. Creed still in 2nd place over Larson as these guys snake through into the carousel. AJ continues to put the pressure on the back of this 9 car, way wide back there. Looks like Kaz Gralla just a little bit out of the groove. Now he's off the pace. The problem with the Kaz Gralla car, number 48 here on the back straightaway. Now he's back under power. Not a mistake.
Cole Custer in the 07. And we see a little bit of tire smoke out of the 2 of Sheldon Creed as he was going into turn 7. Locked that right front up. A little too heavy on the brake there. And it's still William Byron out in front, has a 1.2 second lead over Creed. Now the battle is for 3rd. Larson is under attack from the 54 of Gibbs.
Gibbs trying to ease down to the inside and take that spot. He'll back away now, and wisely done going into turn 2. But he is on the move, and he is ready to attack. And there's trouble further back. 1 car in trouble. That's Kyle Weatherman now getting off course. He'll spin that car. He'll bring it back onto the racetrack. Solo car spin as the leaders head for the interlude.
Kyle Larson giving up another position there to the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Over the curbs aggressively for all these drivers. A little bit of dirt getting kicked up on the racetrack right there. Back to this battle, Cole Custer, Brandon Jones. There's Kaz Gralla right behind them. Josh Berry in the 8 car as well. All these guys fighting for position.
Brandon Jones won the ARCA race yesterday here. Getting some experience. Brandon's working hard. He's done a good job of improving his road course skills. Racing Cole Custer. We know how good Cole Custer is.
We saw Kyle Weatherman off track just a little while ago, and that was the 34. I want to take another look at how that happened.
Can't tell if there was contact with the 10 of Castle. They were definitely very close to one another. He was running 14th, so doing a nice, consistent job.
We saw the 10 of Landon Castle right behind him. Not sure if there was contact or not. Doesn't look like the back bumper had much, if there was any. Now Ty Gibbs putting the fight to the 2 of Sheldon Creed.
Ty Gibbs draws up on the back of this number 2 car. Down the back straightaway. He's going to follow him into the next series of corners. Maybe up a little lock up there on the right front of the 2 car. Ty Gibbs with a little contact in the back bumper. Lets him know, hey, I'm right here. Look in the mirror. They go down into the carousel. Ty's going to try to set him up to be able to get a bit of a run here out of this carousel. Try to beat him into the braking zone.
Carousel's been a strong point for Ty Gibbs all day. He's got forward momentum on Sheldon Creed. He's going to peek out. Show Sheldon Creed he wants a spot. Sheldon's not giving it up easily. Good battle off of 6 into 7. Side by side into 7 is tight as they come to the front stretch.
Sheldon Creed trying to hold off the 54 Parker. That too, we've seen a couple times when he's maybe been a little too aggressive on the brakes.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised to see him with this speed here at the road course. He told me he views these as an opportunity. Some of the best he's felt in the Xfinity has been here at the road course. A little lock up there as he goes into turn 1. It looks like Larson will be looking the inside of him as they go off into turn 2. But he said to me, you know, one of the things that helped him here has been the truck race last year when he ran top 5. He said it lines up so well with the softer tires. They're side by side the exit of the S's there.
Meanwhile, Ty Gibbs is gone. He got that second spot. He's pretty far behind William Byron. Won't catch him without a caution. But he knows A.J. Allmendinger got stage 1 points. He'd not get any as the action behind. Getting hot and heavy back there, Junior.
Oh, the 07 Cole Custer's around. Little contact from behind sends the 07 for a spin.
Checked up. He didn't stay left. We checked up, and the 19 punted us.
Everybody's coming through here now. Cole Custer still sitting on the racetrack, waiting for an opportunity. So contact from behind as all those cars are checking up into the bus stop. Spins the 07. Cole Custer now rolls away.
We stay green.
Well, the leaders are on the
We're
front
wrecking
stretch.
in turn 7, wrecking in turn 7. Brandon Jones is around.
All the smoke you see, Jones went all the way around. You see damage to the front of that car, but still no caution with under 2 laps to go in stage 2. Things heating up. The pressure now rising as William Byron begins to check out on this field. 2.7 seconds separate the top 2.
See the top 3 there, the top 4 and 5 coming into the screen. I wanted to see exactly how this little battle was shaping up between the 88 and the 2. Those guys were trading jabs left and right the last lap on the racetrack. Now a little separation between them as Larson tries to close in on the 9 of Gregson for 4th position. Probably best all these guys in the top 10 to get a little spread out there. That was getting a little bit too confrontational, too close for comfort there between a lot of those guys in the back half of the top 10.
I tell you who enjoyed that, though, is A.J. Allmendinger. When they were all slugging each other, he came out of that battle in 3rd spot. That really helped him get some track position and help him potentially gain some points here at the end of this stage.
And we saw a little bit of smoke there out of the 16, a little bit of right front tire smoke as he hit the brakes a little hard. There's the gap between 1, 2, and 3 as they spread out down the front stretch. 2.5 seconds separating 1st and 2nd, and another 2.5 seconds separating 2nd and 3rd.
After all we've been through in this stage, it's almost like the front of the field has decided to take a collective exhale, spread out a little bit, and sort everything out. We've had a lot of chaos in this race. And right now, as they climb the hill, we're watching some drivers trying to make their way back to the front. As everyone now singles out, that is turn 2, as William Byron sends him off to the end of the back straightaway.
William Byron comfortably in the lead over Ty Gibbs here in 2nd place. A.J. Allmendinger back in 3rd, going to have another great stage finish, protecting that regular season points lead in the 16 car. But everything clean up front for this 17.
Yeah, clean. Bagley said they would exhale, and I think they inhaled, took a deep breath to go slugging each other again. This is just the start of this battle. It's going to get more aggressive as this race goes on.
Final turn for William Byron as he will come and see the green and white checkered flag, and he is going to win stage 2 here at Watkins Glen. Ty Gibbs will finish 2nd. Allmendinger 3rd. Noah Gregson 4th. Kyle Larson will be 5th across the stripe. A little further back, Sheldon Creed, Josh Berry, Hans Ross Chastain, and Connor Mozek will round out the top 10. Aggressive? Yes, check. We have seen aggressive racing, and it's not just been drivers being aggressive against each other, it's drivers taking on this difficult Watkins Glen track.
Stage 2 is complete, and the final car earning those stage points, the 26 of Connor Mosak. Connor making just his second NASCAR Xfinity Series start, his first ever start here at Watkins Glen. Connor comes from a super late model background and is a graduate of the Alan Kulwicki Driver Development Program. A few other drivers that you might note that also came from that program, guys like Ty Majeski and Derek Griffith, also bridging into the NASCAR Xfinity Series this season. Like I said, stage points and a top 10 finish for Connor Mosak. Not a bad showing for the young driver.
This championship fight is tight. The last one at Belle Isle is won by Will Power.
Oh, God. Scott Dixon vaults himself 2 positions up into second.
Did it, buddy. You just won the Indy 500.
I can't believe it. I'm so happy.
Joseph Newgarden can climb within whispering distance of the championship. Win number 4 in the season.
There has never been in the history of IndyCar competition a Spanish champion. Alex Palou is his name, and he is the first.
It is the closest championship fight in the last 20 years.
And as we heard Lee Diffie talking there, just 3 races remain in the season, and look how tight the points are, Steve.
Yeah, and Power already kind of got his first shot by winning the pole, gaining an extra point. So extended it from 6 to 7, if we could call that a big extension. 1 point. Ericsson only 12 back. It's going to be a battle over these last 3 races.
And you NASCAR fans out there wondering about Jimmy Johnson, the last time they were on an oval, he had his career best finish at Iowa of 5th. Now, the final oval of the season, we'll see. That's coming up next. Again, the NTT IndyCar Series from WWT Racetrack. Marty.
Cannot wait for that. The short ovals for IndyCar always fantastic. You know, Ty Gibbs finished second in that stage, Rick. His car clearly one of the best here today. And what's really impressed me about him this afternoon, Dave, is that he has been so calm. Remember, he got booted off the track earlier by Andy Lally. He has had a couple things not really go his way. He has stayed calm behind the wheel the entire afternoon, and here he is with a shot to win. And remember, he's fighting against those Cup Series regulars. What happened at Road America? He beat Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson, for his part, Marty, is working on his game today. He's been complaining all day about how he is handling the bus stop. And remember that big stack up that happened just a few laps ago? Well, that was pretty much as Kyle went into the bus stop, had problems right here, and it was all because he was working on his game there, not happy with the way he's handling it and trying to work on it so that tomorrow, when it really pays, he'll be in the right spot, Parker.
And Dave, Sheldon Creed told me he views these road course races as an opportunity. Well, he has taken hold of this opportunity today, getting stage points in both stages. And he said the one thing he's struggling with, fire off speed. Although he's been getting spots around the outside into turn 1, he doesn't quite have the braking stability he wants, and he just doesn't feel like that car has the speed initially in those first couple laps after a restart. He's been asking the team to help him out there.
Okay, Steve, they're coming up on pit road. It's going to be open. Will there be any takers?
None of the leaders. I believe they're all racing to their next fuel window, which opens at around lap 51 or 52. Only 10 laps from now. I think the tire fall off isn't severe enough. Top 10, 12 will stay on the racetrack. Somebody will pit, though. We're going to see who thinks tires have value and who doesn't. A little bit of fake. There you go. Sheldon Creed says, you know what? I'm going to take some tires. I want to be on the aggressive side. And with that, he kind of drags more guys to pit road than I expected, Parker.
Right, Steven. I think this was actually a response to Sheldon coming on the radio and thinking that he flat spotted the right front on that 2 car. So Jeff Stankwitz electing to just change all 4 tires on the 2. Remember, he wants better fire out speed. A little air pressure adjustment for him, Dave.
Kaz Grau will come down and get tires and fuel as well, and has some damage on the nose he wanted the team to check out. And they're looking actually under the left front now. It may be where the damage is most significant, trying to get his car race ready to run to the finish.
One more stage until the checkered flag to find out who celebrates here in Victory Lane. The first 2 have been eventful, to say the least. The fans here have definitely got an eyeful.
Pit stops are complete. We're getting ready here to start stage 3. It's worth noting that the only car that is not on the lead lap is that 21 of Austin Hill. As you remember, Austin had that issue earlier on in stage 1. The team was able to get things figured out and get that race car back on the racetrack, but they're sitting at 11 laps down. But because they're the only car lap down, they will be the car earning that free pass as we get ready to start stage 3.
Gibbs win number 5 on the season already.
Justin Allgaier, he's going to win for the 3rd time in 2022.
Checker flag. Hell yeah, no aggressive. Woo!
A.J. Allmendinger picks up his 3rd win of the year.
Woo!
Road course racing at Watkins Glen International, and it has definitely been entertaining up to this point. We're calling it radio style. That means the guys are in the different turns, and there's been no favoritism. The drivers have been off course in front of everybody. And Bagman, it started with you and the 7 car hitting the wall.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of everything here today at Watkins Glen, haven't we? But the storyline coming in was A.J. Allmendinger and Ty Gibbs, with maybe some Noah Gragson in there as well. But there's one thing that's holding this process up, and that's William Byron. The question is, can anybody get around Byron and take the win? What about you, Dale, at the end of the backstretch?
Yeah, I think we're going to see a similar type of race that we saw at Road America between the 17 and Ty Gibbs. Only problem is that in the 17 this week, as you said, is William Byron. But I think that car has a lot of pace. Maybe not as much as the 54, but I think it's going to come down to those two. And behind them, it's just going to be a slugfest. Who can survive that? That's what it's going to be for the top 10. The guys that can survive the slugfest, stay out of trouble, not get run over, not get spun out. Those are the ones that are going to get great results today.
Yeah, it's going to get more aggressive as this race goes on. There's no doubt about that. We've seen Ty Gibbs multiple times take on the Cup regulars and take them out. And I think we can see that again today. He's got it right in front of him. It's going to be difficult, but he's going to take the fight. He's aggressive. He's confident. He's going to drive accordingly. And one thing nobody mentioned, there's a little rain in the area, and there are rain tires nearby, so that could pop up as well. And if that happens, all bets are off.
There they are, rain tires. And you noticed who brought it up? Jeff Burton, who's out there in turn 6 on the scissor lift. There it is off the, we'll call it the backstretch here, heading into what is the inner loop and the carousel, but it is off track, getting ready for our final restart.
Yeah, so everyone
is it the final restart, Steve?
No. I can't agree with you there. Everyone in the field needs to make one more pit stop. 39 laps to go. Everyone can go about 31 on fuel, so you can figure it out from there. The guys that just came at 42 can run longer if they so choose. But we're not going to see a lot of green flag running before cars start to pit, probably 8 or 9 laps.
Interesting. Byron is going to be on the outside again here, going into turn number 1. Is that an advantage or disadvantage for him?
Well, we've seen that drivers left what we would consider the outside of turn 1 to be successful because they have all that runoff room over to turn 2. So I think they can kind of pinch the bottom guy down and then just straighten the wheel, use that momentum, and try to clear him in 2. At least that's his plan. Now, the last couple of restarts has been his old buddy Kyle Larson to his inside. Now it's Ty Gibbs. It's going to be a little different story.
Track record holder William Byron on the outside and Ty Gibbs on the inside as we get ready to start stage 3 here at Watkins Glen. Back under green, 2 by 2. A good restart for the 16. AJ Allmendinger trying to get to the back bumper of the 54. Ty Gibbs moving just in front of the 17, but now the 17 surging ahead on the outside.
Byron trying to slide in there, and he will, up against Ty Gibbs. Now he'll take the lead once they clear 2, and here comes Noah Gragson. You've got the 17 of Byron to the lead. You've got Gibbs in the 54, and then the stack-up begins. You got Gragson in the 9 with 2 others right there behind him.
Gragson got tight behind Ty Gibbs, lost a little speed there. Allowed AJ to get right to his bumper, but AJ not in position to be able to pass here through the bus stop as they go into the carousel. The top 5 all singled out, little space between all the cars. Everybody in the back of the field gets through the bus stop cleanly out of the carousel.
The new player in the leader group, you see that 8 car running in 5th spot, Josh Berry, known for road racing all year long. It's gotten better and better. Josh Berry, this is a great opportunity to run with some of the very best in the business and take the road racing skills to the next level.
Yeah, Josh Berry, it's the first time he's raced the Xfinity Series here. A year ago, it was still trying to figure out what ride he was going to be with in the Xfinity Series. Now he has found a home with Junior Motorsports and one of the best Xfinity Series drivers this year.
He's getting an education of a lifetime right now at Watkins Glen because he's got one of the best ever in the Xfinity Series right in front of him in AJ Allmendinger. Now Digger's stacked up there. He's in 4th. You got Digger in the 16. That's AJ. You got Josh Berry in the 8. This is a private 3-man battle for position number 3 as they clear turn 4 and head for the bus stop.
AJ has a little bit more pace than that 9 car, but just can't draw close enough. I mean, the aero disadvantage through the S's gives Noah a comfortable position in the braking zone of the bus stop. Noah gets off track just a little bit right there. It's going to cost him a little bit of time and allow AJ to get right back to the bumper, but you see AJ get tight. When he gets right to the back of that 9 car in the center of the carousel, he gets tight as well.
Yeah, I feel like all 3 of these drivers are driving their car to the absolute limit. You see Ty Gibbs trying to pull up on William Byron, but all 3 of these cars are sliding and slipping, sliding tires, smoke coming out of them. See right there, Noah sideways. AJ with the look. This will give Berry a little bit of run. Berry's not going to take advantage of it, though.
Josh Berry still tucked in behind the 16 as we saw that tire smoke come out of Noah Gregson's number 9 as they go into turn number 1. Will we see it again? Not this time. So Noah Gragson a little smoother on the brakes there as he goes through 1, but still has AJ Allmendinger trying to fight for that spot.
And Josh Berry in that mix as well. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th and that right now is about 2 seconds behind your front two. So as they cross turns 3 and 4, Barry's starting to lose a little pace right there in the S's, while AJ still has the wick turned up on Noah.
We're in battle mode, bud. We're good.
Everybody's in battle mode. You hear them. As you get a pick in the front of the field there, Ty Gibbs closing in a little bit on that leader. Oh, AJ really loose right there. Using a lot of curb. Every once in a while, you're going to hit the curbs wrong. He gets the car back under control, back underway.
Yeah, I feel like these two cars are kind of holding everybody up. You can see them starting to stack up. Josh Berry, Kyle Larson, Sammy Smith back into the battle. Remember we saw him in trouble. Riley Herb saw him across the racetrack, and he's back up to 8th.
Sammy Smith, as we check back on Connor Mosick, who's got that 51 in front of him of Jeremy Clements as they come down the front stretch. But really the entire field, at least the ones on the lead lap, separated by less than 20 seconds. And so an impressive grouping right now as everyone trying to fight for position all the way around this 2.45 mile road course. Marty?
Jeff mentioned Josh Berry, a new player up front. Well, how about his teammate Noah Gragson? Started 14th today, and he said after qualifying, I don't know, the car feels fantastic. I thought it would be a top 5 lap, but had to start way in the back, but it's showing its speed here in the race. And so, Steve, a lot of teams talking about when they'll make that final stop. This is lap 5 of stage 3. I think in about 3 laps, you're going to see pit road get very busy for what should be the final stop of the day.
All right, so pro and con, Rick. The idea is the pro of coming very early is if a caution comes out, you will cycle to the front when everyone else has to make their stop. The con is that you'll have the oldest tires at the end of the race. So it's really how much can you stomach, right? You would like to run as long as you dare. For the front guys, I don't think they have a lot of choice. They were last on pit road at lap 30. I think the opportunity is AJ Allmendinger, Sammy Smith, Herbst, Creed, Chastain. They could run longer and try to keep the fresh tire advantage. We're just going to have to see what they all do. I think the pit window is going to open in about 2 more laps.
Racing back towards you, Bagley, as the top 2, they're only separated by 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, the top 2 have checked out now. Byron and Gibbs, as they work their way through the S's. Everyone else is trying to play catch-up right there. Ty Gibbs, William Byron battle for the lead, and it's 0.3 of a second apart.
Yeah, that's absolutely the 2 best cars in the field. This is what I expect the last few laps of the race to look like. If William Byron can keep this 54 behind him, these 2 cars right here don't have any competition as long as this race goes out the way they plan it. That 54 car closing in, but it looks like as he gets a little closer, he's having a little bit of tougher time with the grip.
Yeah, it's really hard for him to close in on William Byron. This is going to be a great battle all the way to the end. You're going to have to do everything right, no mistakes, if you're going to win this race.
And we're taking a look now at the 2, and it looks as though he will start the flow to pit road. Sheldon Creed on pit road, maybe for the last time, Parker.
Right, remember he had pitted under stage 2 there to change those tires because he had flat spot in the right front. So this would be their last set of stickers here going on the 2-car for Sheldon Creed. And I would have thought they could have went further here with their situation of pitting under stage 2, but Jeff Stankiewicz elected to come down pit road and get those 4 tires of fuel for what should be the final stop.
Oh, they could run further. I think they just think they can make it to the finish from here. So now if the yellow comes out, everybody would pit, he'd be the leader. That's the advantage.
So he started what we think is going to be a flow to pit road. As we take a look now and see who's on the move. Power Moves are brought to you by the Propane Education and Research Council and Kyle Larson. 25 spots since the restart. So he has definitely been on the move, and Kyle Larson currently running in the 6th position.
Curb this time, don't speed.
All right, so this is going to be well, I thought it was going to be a strategy call to get the 54 in front of the 17, but they end up hitting on the same lap, Marty.
And boy, Steve, you cannot have a penalty here. William Byron very happy with the car, saying it built free. The longer he ran here, he's led the most laps today. Can he keep it up front and get a win? This would be his first ever road course win in NASCAR coming to pit road here. Right behind him is Ty Gibbs. They had a long debate on the radio. He said it's starting a little bit more left rear grip is what I would love to have, but I'm afraid to make an adjustment. It looked like a little bit long on that left rear for the 54 day. We'll see where everybody cycled out on the screen flag stop. Final one of the day.
The 88 of Kyle Larson is on pit lane as well. He'll get 4 tires and fuel. He said it was just needing grip everywhere that he could get to, Parker.
Noah Gregson at the front end of pit road as a drag race happens between Ty Gibbs and William Byron. Ty Gibbs will get it. A nice stop by the 54. Joe Gibbs, but now they'll drag race further once they get back on the racetrack in front of you, Mike Bagley.
Here comes Ty Gibbs and William Byron. Ty's finally gotten the lead back from him, but the question is, can William Byron taking it back? These are very, very fast race cars.
Yeah, these two right here, we're going to assume it's for the win. A lot of pit stops have to happen, but the 17 has dominated. The 54 has been the only car that's kept up with them. So on the left side, you see Allmendinger leading the way, but these two cars can make it to the end on fuel, and you can see now Allmendinger pits. The 17 of Byron is putting the pressure on the 54, Parker.
You see AJ on pit road down there, 4 Goodyear tires for him, just trying to tighten it up a little bit. He was in 4th when all these pit stops started. We'll see how he cycles out as you see the top 2 leaders fighting up there, Dave.
Josh Berry's big concern was the restart. Got through that cleanly and was running in the top 5. He'll now get his final stop, 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel.
Right there, you see the leaders go by, the 16 still on pit road.
And again, we mentioned leaders. When everyone cycles through their pit stops, these two will be up front once again, as long as nothing changes on the racetrack. But right now, it's Sammy Smith who is being scored as the race leader. Riley Herbst running in that 2nd spot. But this has been the battle, and maybe it was the pit crews who have given Ty Gibbs the advantage. He got off of pit road just in front of the 17 of William Byron.
Kind of basically a flip of what we were watching before with the 17 car. These two are so equal. They can both kind of keep pace with each other, but not able to really close in close enough to make a pass. Surprised, though, that the 54 has not been able to drive away. I thought that car might have been a little more superior. William Byron keeping this one close. The 18 cars on pit road, Marty.
Been a nice day, Junior, for Sammy Smith, leading laps, winning a stage here. And Jason Rathco told me another part of that strategy from earlier is they had a little bit of margin over the rest of the field. Coming down pit road right here, said he needs just a little more forward grip off of each corner. And that battle, Rick, continues on the racetrack between the 54 and the 17 of William Byron.
Still very tight. We've seen Ty Gibbs lead a lot of laps. The problem is now he's got traffic in front of him, so he's going to have to negotiate the traffic while still worrying about the 17. William Byron going to the inside now. Can Byron get in there? He can as they pass one of the lap cars.
Leaders now just trying to work their way through this lap traffic. They've made their way by Scott Heckert. Now they're going to go to work on Blaine Perkins. There's Gibbs going to ease around the outside. That was a tight squeeze out of turn 4 for Ty.
And you can see how the air was affecting all those cars, even making Perkins' car very, very loose. And there's a car off the racetrack right here. It's going to be back on the racetrack. Everything's clear ahead of these guys, but the 17 now right in the back bumper. of Ty Gibbs. But again, gets tight right there when he gets really close to the middle of carousel. It gets tight, and it gives Ty a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, Ty doing a great job through that carousel. Now on the inside of Perez. Heavy in the braking zone. Just got to protect these braking zones. Cannot let the 17 of William Byron outbreak you into it. Missed the corner there right there. Was able to get back to the bottom. But going to give William Byron a run here into one.
Brandon Jones coming off of pit road, and now side by side for the lead, William Byron. I say for the lead for the eventual win, potentially. William Byron to the inside. Can he complete the pass? Ty Gibbs on the outside. William Byron fighting for that spot.
Side by side into turn number 2. They're leaning on each other. Ty Gibbs on the bottom of that yellow and black car. William Byron in the blue and white car. It's going to be Gibbs sliding across the bow of William Byron in turn 4. He'll hang on to that spot, which will eventually be the lead once we cycle through green flag pit stop.
Yeah, these cars are racing for 14th position, so everyone in front of them, top 13, need to come to pit road before the end of this race. And the reason why these guys are battling so hard is because they know that this is possibly for the win if we continue under green. Really impressed by this car. William Byron able to put the pressure to the 54 the way he has.
Yeah, but he forced Ty Gibbs into a mistake, but he didn't take advantage of it. Ty, the last time through 7, missed the bottom, allowed William Byron to get underneath him, but William wasn't able to make that pass. So as hard as it is to pass, as equal as these cars are, if somebody gives you an opportunity, you better take advantage of it. William wasn't able to do it.
And we're watching Ty Gibbs mature right in front of us every single race. Ty Gibbs in front of the 17 of William Byron, 4th position. NASCAR Drive, that's your live race day companion. You can get access to high-definition in-car cameras. Current position. Track is a big crash into the wall. It looks like, is that Hamrick?
That's Daniel Hamrick.
Daniel Hamrick in the 11 into the tire barrier. And the caution has come out here at Watkins Glen. Parker.
Guys, he had come on the radio a couple laps prior and said this power steering was possibly going out on that 11 car. Remember, he had a fuel pressure issue earlier in the race, so could have been mechanical here for the 11, obviously hard into the tire barrier.
We saw the steering wheel coming off there of Hamrick, and he is driver, not only firewall deep, he's like driver's knees deep.
Thought he said something about a left front. I heard the I couldn't tell whether it was the tire pop or the collision with the wall, but it's a straight entry into the wall for this car. Some sort of failure coming out of the bus stop into the carousel at high rate of speed. And so your point, Dale, he mentioned the left front in the carousel, the right-hand corner. If you blew a left front, you know, this is opposite of what you see at the oval. It would cause for a very straight impact. My goodness.
Yeah. Deep into the tire barriers here. AMR safety crew will work on extracting him from the car, as well as getting those tire barriers straightened back up again. 7th caution here at Watkins Glen as we see Daniel Hamrick climbing out of the car now. And that is a big collision, as Junior mentioned, really almost straight into those tire barriers. Daniel will make the mandatory trip to the infield care center. You look at the tire marks too. That thing as he was going through the carousel, and that left side, the marks aren't as dark.
Yeah, I heard it mentioned left front. You bring up a good point. The left front tire mark is definitely not as dark, and it's farther enough around the carousel. Oh, let's just take a look right here. Oh yeah, just straight, right front locked up. And that tire barrier, you know, is something they've had here for a really long time. And so when a car goes into the tire barrier like that, it'll do a lot of cosmetic damage to the body and whatnot. But overall, we see this tire barrier time and time again save the clips of these race cars. We've seen cars crash in practice and be able to continue throughout the weekend and compete on race day because of that tire barrier. It's at full speed right here.
Yeah, and I think probably the most graphic wreck into a tire barrier was here at this very racetrack, but it was in turn 1 when Jimmy Johnson didn't get through turn 1, had a brake issue, hard right-hand turn, trying to stop, and there, not only foam, but the tire barrier behind it, airborne. The great scene was when Jimmy Johnson climbed out of that car and did that. And again, Jimmy Johnson racing later at WWT Raceway in St. Louis for the IndyCar Series. That's coming up right after this race. But they're going to take a little time here to get the tire barrier straightened back out. While they're doing that, pit road is open, and we're seeing some takers. The 51 of Jeremy Clements in there. Dave.
Yeah, he had to give up the lead, Rick, and he was sorry to do so because it's the best the car has been all day. The last adjustment they made on it, Jeremy radioed in, said really helped, and he was clicking off some really good laps there at the end. Marty?
Boy, Dave, if these guys were an oval, this caution would have been perfect, but it comes at a bad time for both Jeremy Clements and Ross Chastain. They had yet to come to pit road. I tell you who it did benefit, Steve, just coming off pit road, Riley Herbst. He's going to gain a lot of track position as well with those 4 fresh Goodyears, so we'll see if the 98 can come through the field. Several drivers just leaving pit road, but right now, these guys didn't catch the caution the way they wanted to.
Under 22 to go now from Watkins Glen. Again, we have 22 laps to go. The NASCAR Xfinity Series Sunoco Go Rewards 200 at the Glen.
Caution is out on the racetrack here at Watkins Glen for the 11 of Daniel Hamrick. A hard hit into the tire barrier there. Thankfully, Daniel was out of the car and he is okay. Daniel Hamrick, he is the defending series champion, and he has had quite an interesting career here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. A one-time winner, and it was that single win that earned him the championship last year at Phoenix. Now, last year he drove for the 18 Joe Gibbs Racing. This season, he comes back in that 11 car, now driving for Colleague Racing. This season alone, Daniel has 2 top 5 finishes and 9 top 10 finishes in his first year with the team.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen here this afternoon as we close in on the end of this race. 21 laps to go. William Byron and the 54 of Ty Gibbs been the 2 fastest cars. They're going to shoot it out here once again. But as we get to the Toyota driver car update here, this 54 has been up there all day battling. I'm not sure that William Byron's been so fast on these restarts. Can Ty Gibbs hold him off?
No, he is incredible on these restarts. He puts that car places. There's a couple of times up through the S's, I'm like, wait, he's way, way too far out.
Yeah.
But he puts it places, and it sticks. And let me say this. He has taken it to A.J. Allmendinger in his career. He has taken it to Kyle Larson in his career, and he's taken it to William Byron today. What I find fascinating watching this, though, with Ty Gibbs and William Byron, a 24-year-old and a 19-year-old. I think 19-year-old going head-to-head. The future of this sport and the future of the Xfinity Series and the future of Cup racing is in great hands. This has been a great race. It's been a heavyweight battle, a slugfest. Marty?
Let's chat with Chris Gale, the crew chief for Ty Gibbs. And how impressed have you been with your young driver today? I mean, he stayed calm the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed every week with him, right? And this is just another data point for that. I was a little worried when we were trying to pass cars in traffic there towards the end of the first stage, and I'm like, oh, let's don't get ourselves in trouble here. But, you know, it's played out pretty well. Like, I'm really proud of the pit crew and his job on and off pit road. To be able to jump the 17 there could be the difference in the race, right? So really proud of him for that, and I think this is a great learning situation for him here for these next 19. He's going to be hounded by a Cup regular and get to learn from not making a mistake by being pressured here.
So you mentioned that when I climbed on top of the box. Tony Hirschman's mentioned it several times today. How key is this learning for him and racing guys like William Byron and Kyle Larson, who's right behind him as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously great drivers around him, right? So I think it's just a matter of not making a mistake yourself and learning that, you know, you don't let them get in your head by pressuring you. So you just focus on what you can control and what your car's capable of lap after lap after lap.
Ty Gibbs has had an impressive car today, Parker. Can he get road course win number 2 of the season over some of the best in the business? We'll find out.
And one of those would be William Byron in that HendrickCars.com car. Talking to his crew chief, Kevin Mendring here. So we've seen this battle between you guys in the 54. From your eyes, what do you believe is your best opportunity to get by that 54?
I think the HendrickCars.com Chevy's been great all day. We've had good long run speed. There's still a lot of racing left. We got one of the best drivers out there, and we're confident William's going to get the job done.
So we've watched these restarts. Do you see a corner, any braking zone in particular? You know, when you've talked to William, that you're like, that's the one he's going to get it done, or he has to get it done there because that's where we're best.
Well, you never know what to expect on these restarts. They can be wild. They go 2-3 wide. You're kind of just hoping you can make it through there, but we've been strong through there off the top of turn 1. Like I said, it's going to be a battle at the end. They both have good cars, but I feel like we have what we need to get the job done.
Well, I think there's a lot of confidence there, driver William Byron, to be able to get it done and get by that 54, guys.
Yeah, as you can see, we hear that both crew chiefs very confident in their driver's ability to lead this race and go on. 20 laps is a long time around this road course, Kyle, so we know that a lot of pressure is going to be put on there. They don't have to look far back to see others. Kyle Larson's right back there, and A.J. Allmendinger, they might get in the mix.
Yeah, Noah Gragson. All these guys are ready to pounce if anything happens with these first two. But these front two, if we look at William Byron and you look at Ty Gibbs, they've been the class of the field since they dropped the flag. These guys have run up front. And here's the fascinating part. They're getting in that rhythm, And you know what? They're going to come back in 24 hours. They're going to be in the same place. And we might see both those guys contending for the win and contending for the lead at this very point in the race tomorrow. This is just a warm-up for these two guys. They run this race, especially William Byron, run this race to get into that rhythm. That's why there's so many Cup guys in it. But it's going to be fascinating to see this thing tomorrow, Rick.
Yeah, quite a battle. And right now we're seeing the precursor maybe to tomorrow's battle on track with Ty Gibbs, William Byron. Kyle Larson will be in there as well. Coming up next here on USA from Worldwide Technology Raceway, Will Power will lead the field to the green, the final oval of the season for IndyCar, and what a championship battle it has become. Can Scott Dixon put himself in a position for his 7th championship? It's tight. It's not just him. Marcus Ericsson up there as well, fighting for the title. And it's going to be a great one. Again, that's coming up right after the conclusion of the Xfinity race here at Watkins Glen. Ty Gibbs. We've seen him challenged by some of the best in the sport. At Road America, it was Kyle Larson. He outran him. Now he's got one of the fastest cars in the 17 of William Byron will start on his inside. And just behind him, the 9 of Noah Gragson, Marty.
Yeah, when Noah qualified 14th this morning, Luke Lambert said, we're going to be fine. But did you think you would actually have a shot to win this thing on a late restart?
Well, obviously that's the hope. You know, everybody's been doing a really good job working hard all day. This race obviously takes a lot of ups and downs and a lot of focus on just racing the racetrack. So that's really what we've been trying to work on. I think we made our car a lot better. But more than that, he's been working on just his technique, and we've been feeding him information. He's been using it. So real proud of what Noah's been doing.
How aggressive will he play this restart?
He's going to have to play it aggressive. We got the 16 behind us, so we're going to have to be on offense if we're going to keep those guys behind us.
There you go. So we expect a lot of offense and a lot of aggression. And can I throw one more thing into the mix, Rick? How about rain?
No.
All around us. It's not at the racetrack, but
throw that
we
in
have
here,
rain
Marty.
tires, you know. Could be fun. This is going to be an interesting finish to the race at the Glen today.
Man, take a look at this. A really tough day for the 31 of Myatt Snyder. The 27-year-old has had some struggles, and so they're not going to go back to green yet because of Myatt. And so there's an issue there with that. We'll have a restart when the 31 is off track. And Dave, I believe you've caught up with the guy who got into the tire barriers.
Yeah, and thankful to see him walk from the care center under his own power. That is Daniel Hamrick. Daniel, what happened?
I guess a left front tire popped there as soon as I turned into the carousel with speed. Typically when that happens, means you locked it up or something along the lines throughout the course of the run. Didn't feel like I'd done that, but you never know. We never will know. So, hey, for these guys, everyone that's AG1 Camaro, everyone at Colleague Racing, been busting their tails to keep us in the hunt, get us back in the hunt. Thought we actually made a tick of progress for myself here. Road course racing, got to go back and go to work, but thankful for the safety of these race cars. You know, that tire barrier was a lot softer than what it looked like it was going to be coming to it. So, I don't know. Just got to go to work, continue to grind. That's what it's all about.
Heard you may have had some mechanicals earlier, and don't know if you felt like you ran over something. Anything that contributed to that?
Yeah, heck. Feel like we had so much stuff going on in the race I'd forgot about already. But no, we had a fuel pressure issue. We don't still know what that was. I'd actually just keep the mic up that I was having fuel pressure issues again, as well as power steering issues. So I don't know. We prepare really good race cars. Everyone here really dots their I's and cross their T's, and just had a couple things get away from us there. Still wasn't necessarily going to define our day. We're going to be able to muster something up, and just, yeah, very unfortunate that happened. It's the name of the game. That's why you show up every week. You never know what's going to happen, but you also never know what next week has to offer, and that's why we'll show up ready to fight again.
Upside is the tire pack helped, the car held together, and Daniel held together himself, guys.
So DJ was the only one in the countdown to green that chose Ty Gibbs as the potential race winner, and then no one chose William Byron. Is that possible that all of our professionals didn't think that William Byron could win this race?
Well, I think our late ad, Mr. Bagley, might have chose the 54 as well. Isn't that right, Bagman?
Indeed.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's because Rick's looking at my notes and I left you right off my. That's the truth. Sorry. Look at this mess right here. We got a.
Yeah, there's.
Oh boy.
A lot of fluid was put down on the track, so it looks like we'll go around one more time at least before the green flag. We'll take a quick break.
Great to be in upstate New York.
Watkins Glen's always been super exciting.
For the crowd on their feet here at the Glen.
Watkins Glen, love that road course. You have a lot of action and drama. When you get down to the nitty-gritty on the racetrack, it's a really fun racetrack to really challenge yourself and really get out there and run hard.
It's pretty unique, it's pretty special, and a lot of fun.
This place is packed with race fans ready to go.
What a weekend. It has been brilliant up to this point. We're looking forward to tomorrow as well. Countdown to green at 2 o'clock. We'll do that one radio style as well. 3 o'clock Cup Series Racing, NASCAR America post-race show at 5:30. Chase Elliott's winning the pole will bring the field to the green flag tomorrow. And the fans here getting just an incredible show.
Well, and we've seen so many just remarkable finishes here. I think back to Chase Elliott's first Cup win when he held off Truex lap after lap after lap. And I think we're going to see that again today, right? Ty Gibbs, to win this race today, he's going to have to hold off the likes of William Byron, Noah Gragson, Kyle Larson, AJ Allmendinger. That's an impressive 4 drivers behind you. It's not going to be easy.
How about the unknowns of the new race car? We don't know how that has been. They tested tires up here in May. A lot of drivers don't know what to expect. I imagine that it's going to be a handful just in that department alone. Dale, what do you think about tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be fun to see those guys try to figure out this racetrack. But right now, I'm more focused on what I'm looking at on this screen, all this speedy draw of the racetrack. I mean, literally coming to the end of this race, and we're going to drop the grip about 20-30% in some of these corners for these drivers. It's really going to be a handful for these guys. A lot of these guys are going to want to make sure their tires are clean. I'm sure they're going to have the track ready to prepare before we go to green, but Not going to be conditions we were under throughout most of the day.
How is there that much fluid in the vehicle that he went 2.5 miles?
I think the Speedy Dry truck has 2 speeds. No, nothing and everything.
Wow.
I think Jeff Burton in turn 6 that owns stock and Speedy Dry. He's talking him into it.
Put more there. Yeah, it's all the way around. I mean, literally,
all the way around
the racetrack. Myatt over here in 6 and 7 did the best he could to get off the racetrack, and you can see what he did down the back straightaway. He turned to try to get away, but see, he went all the way off course to get it away from the racetrack. That's all he could do as a driver. I mean, you got to get the car back. There's nothing else he could have done. Just a tough situation for them. You know what guys were talking about tomorrow's race? For the last several weeks, well, months it feels like, we've talked about Martin Truex and Ryan Blaney, this incredible point battle to try to make the playoffs. They start 25th and 26th tomorrow. I mean, they got their work cut out for them. They did not show good speed in practice. They qualified right there together, toward the back of the field. Steve, they got some decisions they got to make. They got decisions on strategy. They got to try to make their cars better. The driver's going to have to be much better than they were today. Both of those guys are got their work cut out for them big time.
Yeah, and you mentioned the decisions. It starts with just surviving. I mean, it hasn't been quite as just chaotic as Indianapolis was going into turn 1, but every restart in this Xfinity Series race, we've seen 3 or 4 wide, and they have to funnel down into turn 2. So there is going to be a lot on the line very early for those drivers back there, Blaney and Truex.
14 races, or there's 14 drivers locked in because only 2 races remain before the playoffs get underway. That is right here and Daytona. So the only ones not locked in right now are Kurt Busch with the win, and we know he's not coming back before Daytona. He won't be able to gain any more points. And then the points battle between Ryan Blaney and the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. for that final spot. Parker.
Well, Rick, let's catch up with A.J. Allmendinger's crew chief, Blue Slicker, here, because you guys are going to be lining up 5th. You've been up there throughout this race. What more do you need to maybe go up there and challenge that 54 and 17?
Just a little bit of A.J. Allmendinger. He's one of the best out there. So we've made some improvements on the car, so he's liking it. So I feel like a couple good restarts here. Hopefully get back going green here. It's been, 8 or so laps. So, and then we'll kind of see what happens. Hopefully there's no late race caution where crew chief's going to have to make some decisions there. So.
I know before the race, AJ told us that he was suffering a little bit of a misfire issue or stumbling issue. Is that shown up at all in this race today?
He has not mentioned that during the race, which, we kind of talked about it. If it's there, it's nothing really we can do about it. So just kind of focus on what you got to do as a driver, and we'll talk about it Tuesday.
All right, what's his best shot to pass? What do you think? Down turn 1 or down the bus stop?
I like turn 1. The boy's good on restarts.
There you go, guys. We know he is. He's really good. He's good at these road courses, and he can brake very late. We'll see if he can get some track position here on the restart.
He's got great success, and we know it from just a couple weeks ago. Indianapolis holding off the pack, and that 16 of A.J. Allmendinger doing it again. 9 times he has won on road courses.
Well, it's twofold. Not only does he have a remarkable amount of talent to find speed, he just doesn't make a lot of mistakes, right? So when he gets control of the race, he's hard to pass. He has yet to have control of this race, but I don't disagree with his crew chief. Is he as good as the cars in front of him? I'm not sure we really know, but with 9 wins total to his name, I'd hate to have to go up and pass him. I think your best chance is to keep him behind you.
Yeah, and right now he'll be restarting 5th. So it's Gibbs and Byron. That battle will begin once again when we return.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen International. We continue under the caution flag. The track has received a lot of fluid and a lot of speedy dry. We're buttoning that up, and as we do, we're shaping up for quite the battle here to the checkered flag between Ty Gibbs, William Byron, and others. Dale Jr., what do you think there? Turn 1 has been dicey. The S's have been dicey, that is. What about in front of you? Could it be icy as well with all this speedy drive you've had out there?
Yeah, it's definitely icy. I can see the speedy dry still just kind of laying across the racetrack. They've done the best they can to get that speedy dry up off the surface, but they're still a little bit down. The driver will have to work through. That's going to drop the grip just a little bit, especially in some of the braking zones. Right now, this is going to be where everybody pushes their absolute hardest into these braking zones and through the bus stop and into the carousel. I don't know if the grip is going to be there that they've experienced the entire race. We may see some guys make some mistakes here late.
Well, you hope the guy that you made mad at Indianapolis in turn 1 on the restart is not starting behind you on this restart, because turn 1 here is an opportunity. Heavy braking zone is wide, a 9-degree corner, a lot of runoff. We're going to see some extremely aggressive moves. If you don't go 3 wide and block on the bottom, they're going to put you 3 wide. So you got to be aggressive here. And then up through the S's, make some wise decisions. Is it in your best interest to go side by side up to the S's, or are you better off giving that spot up to keep somebody from behind you getting momentum? So you got to be exceptionally aggressive, but you got to think your way through this lap as well. This lap could determine the winner.
I didn't laugh out loud, did I, when he said aggressive and think? Well, because look, these guys are going to fill every sliver of an opening going into turn 1. They're going to worry about 2 when they get over to it.
And the first ones that are going to get to maybe less traction on a racetrack because they're not sure yet are going to be the 2 fastest cars we've seen all day.
Well, Ty Gibbs is going to feel good about his traction off turn 1 because he hasn't been on the racetrack on one of these exits yet. So this is going to be awesome. 15 to go.
Here we go. 15 laps remaining. It's been an incredible battle to this point. Will it continue? Ty Gibbs on the outside. The 17 of William Byron on the inside. He's getting a little help from Noah Gragson. And then A.J. Allmendinger peeks to the inside. He makes it 3 wide for that 3rd position. Looking to take 3rd away as the battle for the lead continues. Here comes Byron on the inside.
Byron to the inside of Ty Gibbs. Gibbs is going to sweep around the outside. He'll grab the lead. And here comes Kyle Larson. Larson will go to 2nd. Byron falls to 3rd. A.J. Allmendinger, who started that 3 wide run into 1, he'll fall back to 4th. But look out, here comes Larson.
Does Larson have enough pace in this race car to be able to take the fight to the 54 that's leading Ty Gibbs? We haven't really seen him in this second half of the race go up against a big slip right there. We talked about how dirty the racetrack is. A lot of guys moving up the racetrack in the carousel there, having a trouble finding grip.
That was not the start that William Byron needed. Williams got a good car. It's been better than Larson the second half of this race. Now he's got to go find a way around his teammate if he's going to take the battle to Ty Gibbs. Right here, he's looking a little bit too tight. Getting good momentum off of 7, trying to make a move into 1.
And Ty Gibbs just wants a little bit of fight out of Kyle Larson. Don't just let William Byron by. I believe the 54 is better than the 88, but not so lucky. The 17 to 2nd.
17 dives to the inside. He'll pick up position number 2. Larson falls back to 3rd. And A.J. Allmendinger hasn't been able to make any noise. I would have thought he would have gotten up there closer to the front. As Ty Gibbs gets further away, A.J. Allmendinger in the 16 is mired deeper in traffic, as now he too will try to make his way to the inside of Kyle Larson on the backstretch.
Now we get to see if William Byron can close the gap. Try to put the pressure back on the 54. Ty Gibbs has a comfortable lead. Can try to limit the mistakes. Just put together good, clean corners. Right now, the lead stabilizing just above 1 second. Byron not able to draw away from Larson and everyone behind him.
It's an opportunity right here to make up some ground. Do this long straight. This braking zone right here is a great opportunity. But that's where Ty Gibbs has been fast all day. He just got to run qualifying laps. The next 13 laps, I don't like you're making 2 laps. Just trying to drive away from that 17-year-old William Byron.
The 19-year-old has been impressive, to say the least. Ty Gibbs now with almost a 1-second lead over 2nd place William Byron, but just 13 laps remain here at the Glen as the 2 similar-looking cars running 2nd and 3rd, with Larson back there in that 3rd spot.
If the goal is to track down Ty Gibbs for the win, everybody had best mind their P's and Q's, stay in line, and race very friendly, because the more you dice it up, the more he's going to get away. And Ty Gibbs, there's no doubt, is getting away now by 1.1 seconds over that Byron Larson tango there for second and third.
Yeah, the last lap's been pretty even between the first two cars. Everybody behind them staying in good close contact. A little bit of dirt on the racetrack, cars hanging tires off. Sammy Smith driving back up into the top 5 here, trying to take that spot away from Gregson.
Yeah, Sammy Smith, crew chief Jason Ratcliffe put him kind of in a tough situation, trying to give him some experience. Well, he's answered the call and showed Jason that he can do it, driven that car all the way from the back up here in a good position, battling Noah Gregson. Again, he's all over Noah, getting into turn 7. Now he wants to be able to turn right, show Noah that front bumper into turn 1.
That's for the 5th spot, and right now Noah Gregson has it. Sammy Smith looking to the inside. We see Ty Gibbs again about a 4-car length lead right now over the 17 of William Byron.
Question is, can Byron track him down? He's trying. He's putting the car in places where he can have the most success. In the S's, that's right against the rumble strips, not on the rumble strips. Right now, 0.8 of a second, and he's making ground and tracking down the race leader.
He's closed the gap 0.3 bags to go into the bus stop and watch this 54 car work through there really nicely. No big issues. But one little small mistake is a 10th here, 10th there. Kind of adds up. Byron has to be perfect as well as they exit the carousel.
Yeah, we saw Byron before that caution putting a lot of pressure on Ty Gibbs. Ty's car was sliding around the racetrack. Without a doubt, Byron is running him down. Looks like he's better up through the S's. Braking zones are a strength for Larson right now as well. I'm sorry, William as well.
William Byron closing the gap within 3 car lengths, so the 54 now. The gap was a second between the two. It's 0.8 of a second now. And just 11 laps still to go. Sammy Smith, another excellent run that we've been talking about as he has taken 5th away from Gregson. Now he's setting his sights on Allmendinger.
Right now, Sammy Smith climbing the hill. That would be the battle for 4th. Allmendinger in 4th in the 16. And then you've got Sammy Smith in the 18 as they come to the back straightaway. That battle has stabilized somewhat as everybody now just waiting to the end here. 11 laps to go.
Pretty impressive run here from this 18 car, Sammy Smith. Tries to work here, putting the pressure on AJ. AJ seems to be working his car a lot harder to be able to make the time. Larson up the racetrack in front of these guys. Heading way wide on corner exit here. This is a great little battle between these 3 cars.
Really good battle, and I agree with you, Junior. Sammy Smith's car looks very much under control. The 2 cars in front of him of Larson and AJ Allmendinger, they're sideways, they're sliding tires. They do not look like they have the ability to make the speed that Sammy Smith has in that 18.
Does the 18-year-old have enough time? 10 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Sammy Smith trying to take 4th away from Allmendinger, and he sees Larson as now he goes and takes the 4th spot away. Sammy Smith up to 4th.
Textbook road course pass right there. Opened up the inside lane coming into turn 1. Ease through, close the door, and now is in getaway mode. He'll leave Allmendinger by a car length, and now he's got about 5 or 6 before he can catch Kyle Larson in what would be a battle for the 3rd spot.
Sammy Smith now in 4th. He restarted 9th and has come up through the field a couple of times today. But Jeff, yesterday, he was in the ARCA race. He led almost every lap of that race until turn 1 of the last lap. It was a green flag and then checkered flag next lap. He got spun and wrecked at that moment. So he is getting a little vengeance here today on the Xfinity Series field. This young man, so impressive behind the wheel of the 18. Wouldn't be surprised at all if he's full-time at JGR next year.
Well, he's certainly showing everybody he belongs. I called him the winner of the ARCA race a little while ago in the race because I watched him just dominate. This is in my head that he was the best driver, the best car on that day. But Sammy Smith all year, really, guys, has shown that he belongs in this series in the few races that he's had.
At just 18 years old, a year ago he was the ARCA East champion, and this is just his 4th start in the Xfinity Series. So very impressive what we're seeing out of the 18-year-old. And the 19-year-old, Ty Gibbs, you can't say enough about how well he is running this road course, staying in front of the Cup veteran, William Byron.
Byron's closing that gap just a little bit now, almost a half a second. bit of a mistake on the entry to the bus stop cost Byron a couple tenths right there. Watching these guys, it's a great shot to be able to see kind of who's doing what, who's perfecting each part of the racetrack. To head to Jeff.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Watch both of them use all the racetrack on the right side. Both of them turn. Neither on the curb on their left sides. Both cross over the curb in between 6 and 7. And this corner is so important. Look how low the 17 of William Byron is on that corner exit.
Great exit there for William Byron, but also Ty Gibbs putting on a heck of a performance here as he goes into turn number 1. Again, a reminder coming up next, it's NTT IndyCar Series from WWT Raceway.
Got cars spinning over here.
Into the gravel is the 92, so Ross Chastain has parked it. And
he's stuck. He is
stuck.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way he's going to get out of there without some assistance from the trucks. He sits there spinning his rear tires trying to get out, but it's not going to go anywhere. It's buried in this sand. Caution's out.
Caution comes out, meaning a restart. Everyone will be bunched back up behind the 54 of Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, you see how deep the back of the 92 is in the sand. So NASCAR has said that they will provide assistance leaving the sand traps if they can use the tow strap that's in the front bumper and the rear bumper. They have to open the hood. This will be the end of the day for Ross Chastain.
He was running 19th at the time when he went into the gravel pit.
Yeah, was speeding under the last set of yellows. So that gave up some of his track position. This is the 8th yellow here at Watkins Glen, tying the record.
That was one record I didn't want to tie. We saw a track record be broke.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about strategy, and this is an interesting situation. You know, I don't think the leaders are going to pit, but someone is going to put some new tires on, and that person's going to be on full aggressive mode. So we'll have to see. Let's take a look at how the 92 got here. I can't tell if it's a stack up or, both the 92 and the 23 went around, and the 92 really just nothing he can do at this point as he goes back into the sand, though.
You see how fast he was going as he entered the sand. You said it's nothing he could do. AMR safety team is just arriving on the scene, working to get some straps hooked to the front of this car on those tow hooks you were talking about.
So you see right there underneath the O of Camaro, there's the cars themselves are asked to put some tow straps for this specific reason. We're going to literally drag you out of the sand by these provided straps. We'll see how this goes.
They'll latch up to the 92, pull Ross Chastain out of the gravel, and we'll get ready for a restart. Ty Gibbs, can he hold off Cup veteran William Byron and Kyle Larson? They're running right behind him.
Getting ready to take the green here at Watkins Glen with just 7 laps to go. Now, when you pay attention to that running order here on the restart, it's worth noting the history of this race here at Watkins Glen. Last 5 races in this series have been won by a different winner, but specifically here at this racetrack, 8 of 13 of the last races, it was their first win of the season. Notably, one driver up there in the top 5 who's looking for not only his first win of the season, but his first win of his Xfinity Series career, the young part-time driver in the 18, Sammy Smith.
Coming up to 6 to go, but it won't be the restart yet. They just have gotten the 92 of Ross Chastain clear of the gravel pit. He drove off. And so now they will line up 2 by 2 for the restart. It's going to be 5 laps, Steve.
Yeah, it's 5 laps, and we're going to get a replay of what we just saw. We'll see who adjusts. So if we take a minute, let's look at the last restart, right? That's Ty Gibbs on the right side. The left side is Byron. Behind him is Kyle Larson. I think the 17 car does the right thing here on corner exit. So he chases the 54 over this curbing. I would say force him, but that's where the 54 is going anyway. So now the 17 has a little bit of an advantage. It's right here where I think the issue is, right? So he slips and leaves that lane open, and look at Larson come through. That actually cost the 17 of William Byron a little bit of time because he kind of let his teammate through. The interesting thing now is it's the same 3 players in the same 3 positions. Is there a new trick for Ty Gibbs? Will William Byron do the same thing, or will it be something different, Dave?
We'll find out from Jason Stocker what the plan is here for Kyle Larson. What's he got left, and can he do what he did last time, which is take advantage?
I think we're settled in a little bit right where we're at now. I think he just sent a message to his teammate saying, don't worry about us being 3 wide. We'll take care of you. So he lacking a little grip overall today. You need a little more grip in the carousel on the rear end. So HamrickCars.com, just glad they let us come do this. You know, a lot of effort on JRM side to get the car out there. 5th car, extra work for everybody. But overall, not a bad day. Just quite not good enough to keep up with those 2 cars in front right now.
Solid. We'll see what happens here, Marty.
Young Sammy Smith behind the wheel of the 18 car. He's sitting in 4th. Jason Ratcliffe. So you left him out earlier to kind of get him some experience with all that wisdom up front. Did he learn enough to be able to pull off the win here?
I think he learned where his car needed to be in clean air, you know. So he's been giving good feedback all day. We've been making adjustments on it, making it better. So earlier on, he wasn't able to make a lot of passes, but now he seems definitely be doing that. He's found something down in turn 1 that's working good for him.
I'll ask you, as a young driver, how aggressive do you want him to play this restart?
Well, I mean, right now he's fast enough, you know, to get his first win. So be as aggressive as you need to be to go get it, you know.
There you go. The wisdom coming from Jason Ratcliffe, who has more Xfinity Series wins as a crew chief than anybody on pit road. Can this young driver pull it off? That's the question, Rick.
He's got enough speed to win the race, is what he just said, and he's going to restart in the 4th position. So we'll see how aggressive he becomes. The 18 will be on the outside. He'll be right behind that 54 of Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, and really when I look at the front 2, the 54 and the 17, the 54 has accelerated great. He's got a great run into turn 2. If that happens again, it really comes down to when is it time to go 2 wide through the S's? I think it's there. And will it work? Or will pressure from row 2, either the 18 or the 88, change the plan? You know, will one of them get them 3 wide? The issue for the 54, when he goes driver left off 1, it's great for momentum, but you leave a football field to your right. So if someone gets through turn 1 as good or better than you, there's more than enough real estate for them to fill up.
It's going to be a 5-lap shootout. We'll see who has the best restart here. The 54 again, Ty Gibbs, the 19-year-old. He's subbing for Kurt Busch tomorrow in the Cup Series race, but wants to get another win. It would be his 6th win of the 2022 season if he can beat William Byron. The restart so important. Byron on the inside, Gibbs on the outside, back up through the gears to go. A great restart for Gibbs. We'll see if he can make it work. To the inside, the 17 goes up the racetrack. He goes, and the 54 has to go very high now.
Almost all the top 10 is off the course. They're 3 wide for 3rd as everybody's jostling for real estate. Ty Gibbs is slipping in the corner. Byron goes wide to accommodate. They lean on each other in turn 4. Side by side for the lead. Larson thinks for a moment 3 wide of the backstretch.
Larson's going to push this 17 of Byron down into the braking zone. Here comes Ty Gibbs side by side. There's going to be contact. Both cars go spinning. Both cars are spinning out of the lead. Larson goes through AJ. Sammy Smith into 3rd. Castralla now in 4th position. Now A.J. Allmendinger trying to take the fight to Larson. Larson did not think his car was good enough to win this race.
He now has to change gears and go try to make it happen. And can Sammy Smith, as crew chief just said, he had the best car on the racetrack. He's sitting there in third. What can he make happen?
Now a gift been handed to Kyle Larson. He's up front. A.J. Allmendinger very hungry. 4 laps to go now from the Glen. Sammy Smith looking for his first ever win running in the 3rd spot. But it is Larson up front.
Impressive up through the S's. Too wide for the 17 and the 54. And now we see the 54 live at the bottom is backwards again. And then right here into the bus stop. You just know too wide, very difficult. The 54 drives it in and just gets loose and takes the 17 with him. Larson comes through, thank you, he says, and he takes the position.
And William Byron spun Ty Gibbs out over here at turn 6. Both of them, at the back of the field, but William Byron expressing his displeasure.
Back up front, Larson, AJ, Smith, Gralla. Great run for the Gralla team. Had to repair the left front of that car, and he's back. Larson knows, slides up the racetrack a little bit, but gets a pretty good exit here, heading to you, Jeff.
A.J. Allmendinger finds himself to the front of almost every one of these races. Just so good, so methodical. He's got to beat a Cup champion today to make it happen. The window open for these guys when the 2 leaders spun to the bus stop. Who can take advantage of it?
A.J. Allmendinger putting all the pressure he can right now on Kyle Larson. 3 laps to go, 3 more times around here at the Glen. He peeks to the inside just to let Larson know he is right there. They are closing in on the final 2 laps of this race.
Objects in Kyle Larson's mirror are definitely closer than they appear. Here comes AJ. That's Allmendinger in the 2nd spot. You got Larson leading, and Sammy Smith is hoping for another leader tangle. Right now, the exit turn number 4. Larson is in control, but A.J. Allmendinger staying with him stride for stride.
Larson and AJ pushing these cars beyond the limit, sliding all over the place up to the S's. Larson's been here before. Lost at Road America late in that race. Was under pressure there. He just needs to gain a little bit more time between him and the 16 to fall into a place to where he can run in rhythm.
Now he's got to play a little bit of defense, though, because Sammy Smith has closed that gap. Kaz Gralla has gotten up to 4th. So A.J. just can't chip it in there. He's got to pay really close attention not to make a mistake, because now Sammy Smith is there. It kind of changes the game a little bit for A.J.
It's become a 3-car battle for the lead as Sammy Smith has thrown that 18 into the mix as well. Just in front of him, A.J. Allmendinger, the best it's ever been in the Xfinity Series on road courses, still holding on to 2nd, but they're all chasing Kyle Larson out in front.
3-driver breakaway for the lead and the win at Watkins Glen. You got Kyle Larson in the 88. You got A.J. Allmendinger in the 16. You got Sammy Smith in the 18, and they're slowly creeping away from 4th on back. Here they come now, up through the S's, clearing turn 4. Seems like the separation between 1st and 2nd is stabilized.
Gonna have to be mistake-free here. Lap and a half to go. AJ really drives it deep, able to close in a little bit. Maintains that gap, closing even further. Lost a little bit right there in the carousel. Accelerates, trying to accelerate. You see the car really not taking the throttle as he moves around the back end.
He closed a little bit of that gap. Now he's got to try to outbrake. Good job braking into turn 6. Can he carry that momentum into 7? He did. He's closed this gap. Most of it's been under braking. See if he can do it into 7 right there. A little bit of an advantage for Larson.
2 car lengths separate the top 2. 1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. Kyle Larson has never won a road course race in the Xfinity Series. Can he change that statistic today? A.J. Allmendinger, he's won more than any other driver in the Xfinity Series.
Final time out of 1. Final time up to the S's. Larson looks in the rearview mirror. They're lined up. He's got to be perfect for this last less than 2.5 miles. He'll cross turns 2, 3, and 4, and still keep them all in the rearview mirror. Kyle Larson, the man in command right now.
AJ is there. He's in striking distance. Trying to close even further. Both drivers really pushing hard. Look at Larson. Sideways, AJ sideways, down into the carousel. Only a car length separates the 2 leaders. Larson trying to get out of this corner better. Wants to look at the mirror and see himself driving away from the 16.
Is there an opportunity right here for Allmendinger to overbrake, drive into turn 6, get into the back of Larson? Can't quite get there. See the car wiggling around. Did everything he could. One more opportunity for him into 7. Larson's able to drive away from him.
Kyle Larson, after making some changes to the car, had to start in the back. He goes all the way to the front, and Kyle Larson's going to win at the Glen.
Nice work. Appreciate it.
Spinning coming out of turn 7 behind them. And a lot of smoke as they're trying to slowly work their way around. We saw the 19 of Brandon Jones. He got straightened back out again, but it was Larson Allmendinger. Sammy Smith with a 3rd place finish in just his 4th Xfinity Series start. Noah Gregson comes home in 4th. Kaz Gralla was 5th at the stripe. Sam Mayer coming home in 6th. And we saw Ty Gibbs get dumped earlier by the 17 right there.
Yeah, it's just having William chase him down into the corner. That's the last part of it. They were not happy with each other down that short chute into 6 and sent Ty Gibbs around.
Those two, what looked like were racing for the eventual win, got into the bus stop side by side. It didn't work out. They both spun, and Kyle Larson took advantage of the two of them going sideways to the bus stop. He took the lead and never looked back. And now he'll be celebrating his first road course win in the Xfinity Series. And we'll want to take that momentum into tomorrow's Cup Series race. Again, a reminder, NTT IndyCar Series coming up in just a few moments from the St. Louis area WWT Raceway. Kyle Larson celebrating here in front of the grandstands, the different areas around the track that the fans are set up to watch. NASCAR America post-race show will be on the NBC Sports app. Make sure to join us there for driver interviews and post-race analysis as we look forward to tomorrow's Cup race as well. Again, a reminder, the NTT IndyCar Series from WWT Raceway. 3 races remain in that season and a great battle for the championship building there. What a run we have seen out of the 88 of Kyle Larson. The 30-year-old from Elk Grove, California, has grown up at racetracks. He was a fan for a lot of his younger years, and then said to his parents, I'd like to start in the back because I like to pass a lot of people. That's exactly what he did, Parker. He passed a lot of people today.
That he did, Rick, and he did it with a car he didn't think was capable of winning. He said maybe he just had a 3rd place car. So Kyle, talk me through those last couple of laps. How did you end up here in victory lane?
I got lucky. I think my only shot really was you have the 54 and 17. William and Ty got racing, and I just wanted to help William down the front stretch as much as I could. Then they got battling up the S's. I tried to help him get clear into the bus stop, and they raced side by side into there and got together, and the C's parted, and I was able to get through. And then I had AJ behind me, so I was just trying to hit my marks as best I could. He had me definitely nervous out in front of him, so cool to get a win here. Rick Hendricks here too, so wish William and I could have fought out for the win there, but either way, happy to get HendrickCars.com into victory lane, and everybody at Hendrick Automotive Group, Hendrick Engine Shop, Junior Motorsports, pretty iconic number, so cool to get a win with 88 on there.
Congratulations, Kyle Larson is your winner here at Watkins Glen, the Xfinity Series.
Kyle Larson will be heading to the Ruoff victory lane to celebrate in there with his team. And what a day it has been. Eventful is probably the least descriptive word you can use as the way this started. We saw AJ Allmendinger fight throughout the entire race. We saw Justin Allgaier start the race. Is trying to get through turn 3 and got into the wall. Tied for the most cautions we've seen at this racetrack, which means a lot of restarts.
Yeah, and Dale Jr. said at the top of the show, people try to go too wide into the bus stop. It doesn't normally work. That's exactly what happened with the 2 leaders on the final restart. Kyle Larson did a nice job helping his teammate into that position. Then when it didn't work out, took the lead and drove off. But if you thought 8 cautions and chaos was today, wait till tomorrow, Rick.
Again, we're going to see the new car here at Watkins Glen for the first time. Looking forward to that. A great battle coming up in the NTT IndyCar Series. Their fight continues. 3 races remain, and it starts with the final oval at WWT Raceway. Kyle Larson said he got a gift. The seas parted, and he had the opportunity to go right through and take the lead away. He did that through the bus stop, and Kyle Larson grabs his win here at Watkins Glen. He'll see if he can keep that momentum up for tomorrow's Cup Series race. But it's time now for the NTT IndyCar Series. Let's go to WWT Raceway and Lee Diffie.
What a day of racing here from Watkins Glen. The leaders get into each other in the final laps, which results in a very tame post-race conversation here on pit road. But ultimately, it's the Cup Series champion Kyle Larson who earns his very first road course race of his career. Well, the battle for those final playoff spots continues, and the regular season championship battle gets even tighter after today's race. The action continues next weekend at Daytona. But for now, that's it from here at Watkins Glen. Thanks for hanging out with me today, race fans. I'll be back tomorrow for the Cup race.
We are the ones at the top of the mountain, climb tighten the buckle. One with the right crowd that likes to rumble. Hold a nice crown, it's hard to be humble. We welcome you now to our arena. If you don't know by now, it's hard to beat us. You can tell by our demeanor how hard we leaning. Leave a lasting impression on who is the best, and there won't be a question. You will remember our name when you see it in lights. We are the champions. We are the champions. We will fight through the pain. We'll be legends tonight. We are the champions. We are the champions.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.